into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, well, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Feel it in your bones. It's a brand new day. A very good morning. Welcome to Expresso. My name is Graham Richards. Who knows, today could be the day that you change the world, maybe just change your world a little bit. We'll do our best to make it feel like the most amazing world ever. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's Thursday, the 14th of November. The year is almost done. Can you believe it? The week is almost done as well. And we've got a jam-packed show. Of course, Mrs. South Africa is going to be here, and we'll delve a little deeper into that. And then we're going to be delving into World Premature Birth Day as well. We're going to be empathizing with families going through what must be one of the most difficult experiences in life. And we'll hopefully educate you as well, empower you through that process. But we love having you in our care, and we've got you for 3 hours. And it's just the three of us this morning. Morning, team.
A very good morning to you, Mr. Graham Richards. Boy reporting for duty in our W Beauty room alongside Jamie Lee Domford. Great to see you, madam. Are you well?
Yeah, I'm good.
We were having the most interesting debate just now, which we will cover a little bit in our entertainment news. But it has to do with who votes and who gets to decide who are the sexiest people in the world, whether the sexiest man or the sexiest woman. Have you been called to secretly throw in your ballot and been part of this secret judging panel?
Not really yet, but I'm hoping that one day they call me, because we'll speak about it a bit later who has actually voted this year. But I mean, I don't know what the criteria is. I feel like even you could have been there, but we'll speak about it later. Hello.
I don't know. Prosper behind the camera there on camera 5 is like saying they should have been walking around Kylie. Have they seen us? Have they seen us? Anyway, let's take a look at the weather, shall we?
Yes. Now in Johannesburg, cloudy conditions with showers and thunderstorms mainly early in the day. Towards the evening, cloud cover decreases and sky clears up. A northwesterly wind is expected for the duration of the day, so be prepared for the last bit of rain. Now in Durban, mainly cloudy conditions with temperatures that are not as warm as the day before. An occasional afternoon rain. A couple of thunderstorms are expected in the evening with cloud cover increasing. Be prepared for heavy rainfall and localized flooding. In Port Elizabeth, times of sun and clouds with pleasant temperatures that range between 17 to 23 degrees. As the evening approaches, partly cloudy conditions are expected with a light southwesterly wind. And of course, at Cape Town, the mother city, sunny to partly cloudy conditions can be expected with pleasantly warm temperatures and a strong southeasterly wind for the entire day. Towards the evening, cloud cover increases. Hold on to the hats and to the eyelashes. I mean, it's, you know.
Yeah.
Have you seen that video with the eyelashes, the ladies in the wind and the eyelashes like, yes?
No.
No? I'm going to show you the video later. But of course, today it's Fashion Thursdays in the Expresso house. I love it. What a fun morning we have lined up as we talk all things summer swimwear.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for more on that later. But right now, let's unpack my fab, beautiful belted dress that I'm, of course, wearing from none other.
What do they call the color?
Fuchsia. No, but this is fuchsia. Is that the color?
It's that shade of pink.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Seasonal shade of pink.
I like that.
Yeah.
And of course, you can get it none other than Hoolies. It's totally up my alley, as it's super cozy. You know, it's like very like ladylike.
You like the way the material falls?
Absolutely. The
and
shade
rises
of pink.
as you walk.
Yes. So like you said, fuchsia. I didn't even know that was fuchsia, but it pops against my skin color, and I like the length. So I think that this is beautiful for summer because it gives it like little carve.
The little slit on the side
little
there.
Slit on the side.
Gives you a bit of freedom for movement.
Absolutely, and you can pair it with a nice biker jacket, and then of course like a young sneaker for the rest of the day. So just so beautiful and free flowing. I'm all about free flowing for summer.
There. Biker jacket, sneaker, gets you to like a Saturday market with friends while you're enjoying beautiful craft drinks and food and that kind of stuff. Very nicely done,
Absolutely.
Very nicely done.
And it's like your pink and
I feel like wardrobe is ushering me closer and closer to the island of Curacao. I'm feeling ever so tropical.
Ooh, ready.
Right here. You know what I mean? Obviously, white sneaker just always pops off when it comes to anything. It's like the trusted go-to. But this linen style shirt with this beautiful print on it, always it's a statement piece.
Definitely.
That could be quite a conversation starter as well.
Absolutely. Now do stay tuned for more later on the show as we chat to our amazing fashion stylist Bronwyn Day will be sharing more of the ultimate summer swimwear trends from Woolworths. So shop your looks online, in-store or on the Woolworths app.
Absolutely. Listen, it's been looking very much like summer everywhere around. Yesterday the sun was beaming, it was bright, but then the wind came in a little bit. We had a half a beach day as a family.
Did you?
Yeah, when last did you go to the beach?
Oh, no, I don't know. Probably 2 years ago.
Yeah,
2 years ago.
What? Well, you live in Cape Town, right?
No, last year I was pregnant, so I didn't go to the beach much because
Okay.
I was indoors. But then I was also not in the country last year, remember? So before, being...
2 years is a long time. Okay, well, then maybe you're the perfect person to ask this because you haven't been in a long time. If you were to go to the beach today, what are the 5 essential items you'd love to take with you, that you need to take with you in your bag or wherever, just to go to the beach so that you're comfortable? In fact, that's our question on social media right now.
So definitely conditioner for the hair. Oh, very important. Conditioner. Just
for the hair.
For the hair. Or like coconut oil, something to moisturize the hair because ain't nobody got time
At the beach?
At the beach.
Okay.
Friend.
Okay.
Friend.
I'm learning new things.
When that wind hits you and you're like, I don't have a lot of hair, but just to keep the edges popping,
Carry on.
Glasses, definitely. Lip stuff. Deodorant, and then maybe like a towel. A towel.
And a towel.
A towel. Yes, that's my 5 essentials. What are your essentials?
It's a sunscreen for one, for sure. A book, some refreshments, like watermelon, that's very nice. An umbrella, so that you don't burn. And as I've now learned, I need to take my conditioner with me so my edges are popping. That's... Wow.
You're making me rethink my whole, listen, I feel like I need to change it. But I think we should go together, then I'm sorted on that side. For the,
I can use some of your conditioner, you can use some of my sunscreen.
And your umbrella.
All right, listen, link up with us, Expresso Morning Show, SABC3. Let us know, what are those 5 critical, essential accessories in your bag when you go to the beach? We'd love to know.
Thinking about the beach and what did you call it, craft drinks. Thinking about hitting those summer markets, all of that feeds into our quote for this morning. So we've been quite serious about setting goals and being mindful, and obviously you want to be positive about that. So we're going to take the edge off a little bit this morning and maybe look at the way that we achieve our goals in a slightly different mode. Maybe you want to just take the pressure off and have a little bit of fun while you're doing it. Maybe take that big grand goal, break it up into smaller, very much achievable goals, and never forget to have a little bit of fun. Remember to have fun when completing your goals. That way you'll stay motivated to finish. If you're constantly struggling and fighting that uphill battle, sometimes it can really kind of be a demotivator or an unmotivator, if you will. So maybe take a little bit of the pressure off your shoulders, set slightly smaller goals, maybe break up that big goal into smaller segments that are more achievable, and just have a little bit of fun. Life is about the journey. Enjoy it. So hopefully today you can take the edge off just a little bit. It's not about being aimless and not having those goals. Set the goals, yes, but make sure that they are achievable so that you can chalk them off and you can actually feel that sense of achievement and enjoy yourself along the way. So you can start thinking about those smaller goals that you want to set for yourself today as we tackle the news headlines.
Let's take a look at those headlines on this Thursday morning. On the national front, hundreds of foreign nationals who have been camping outside the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees office in Waterkloof Road in Brooklyn, Pretoria, have been ordered to disperse by the High Court. Meanwhile, Eskom said yesterday it was repairing the infrastructure that had been damaged by a severe storm and tornado that wreaked havoc in New Hanover near Pietermaritzburg on Tuesday. 2 people were killed and at least 20 injured. Taking a look at the international news headlines this morning, Zimbabwe's wildlife agency is to move hundreds of elephants and other animals in a dramatic bid to save them from a lethal drought. 600 elephants, 2 prides of lion, a pack of wild dogs, 50 buffalo, 40 giraffe, and some 2,000 impalas will be moved. Now, severe flooding in Venice that has left much of the Italian city underwater is a direct result of climate change, says Venice's mayor Luigi Brugnaro. Only once since official records began in 1923 has the tide been higher. And finally, 17 black rhinos have been released into Malawi's Liwonde National Park after arriving from South Africa as part of a conservation effort aimed at keeping the local population of the endangered species healthy and safe. Peter Fernhead, Chief Executive of African Parks, a private conservation trust that runs game reserves in Malawi, said extensive measures to protect these animals include aerial surveillance, daily ranger patrols, and the integration of the most advanced technology to enable lifetime tracking. British troops also patrol the reserves. Now, Britain's Prince Harry has been involved in conservation efforts at Liwonde for some time now, and shockingly, there are fewer than 5,500 black rhinos remaining in the wild. That's a wrap-up of the news headlines. Right now, let's take a look at the sporting world with Graham.
Thanks so much, Kat. Let's kick it off with some more sad news relating to South African rugby. Rugby World Cup winner and, of course, the oldest member of the current Springbok squad, Skalk Brits, has announced his retirement from rugby for the second time in 2 years. Will it be the last? We'll wait and see. And staying with rugby, the former Springbok coach Heineke Meyer has now parted ways with French top 14 club Stade Francais with immediate effect. That was after joining the club last year as director of rugby and head coach. In cricket, rain stopped the Nzansi Super League match between the Tshwane Spartans and the Nelson Mandela Bay Giants that was playing out at Supersport Park in Centurion last night. And in football, star Spain forward David Villa yesterday announced his retirement from football after 19 years in the game. He is Spain's all-time leading goal scorer with 59 goals. And then on to tennis finally. World number one Rafa Nadal saved a matched point to beat Russian Daniil Medvedev 6-7, 6-3, 7-6, while second seed Novak Djokovic was stunned by Austrian Dominic Thiem 7-6, 3-6, 6-7 as well in the ATP finals currently taking place in London. We'll expand on those headlines over the first hour of this morning.
Thank you so much, Dee, for that sports update. Now let's take a first look at the weather. Now we have asked you to send in your sunrise pictures, and Louise Sherry sent us this amazing sunrise from Blue Hills in Midrand, where mainly cloudy conditions can be expected with a few strong thunderstorms and occasional rain, reaching a maximum of 27 degrees. JP Malherba sent us his sunrise from Robertson, where cloudy conditions can be expected with occasional morning rain and a couple of showers in the evening, reaching a maximum of 23 degrees. Now let's take a look at the rest of the country. In Polokwane, we have a low of 17 and a high of 27. Heavy rainfall can be expected for you, Mbombela, with a low of 16, peaking at 25, so make sure to get that jacket out. Occasional rain for you, Pretoria, with 14, 29. Thunderstorms can be expected for Johannesburg, with an all low of 12 and a high of 28. Mahikeng of 14, 32. High humidity for Klerksdorp, with a low of 12, peaking at 30. Kimberley, 12, 29. Bloemfontein, 11, 28. Richards Bay, 18, 22, and strong thunderstorms are expected for Pietermaritzburg with a low of 14, reaching a high of 19. Durban, 19, 23, and occasional rain for Mthatha with a low of 11 and a high of 19. A couple of showers for East London with a low of 17, peaking at 22. Praddock, 10, 27. Port Elizabeth, 17, 23. George, 15, 20, and the lowest temperature in the country is for you, Sutherland, with an all low of 7 and a high of 21. Southeasterly wind of 35 kilometers per hour for you, Cape Town, the Mother City, with a low of 18 and a high of 22. Worcester, 12, 25. Springbok, 15, 30, and the highest temperature in the country is for you, Uppington, with a low of 16, peaking at 32. It is a Thursday. Make it count.
It's going to be a good Thursday by the sounds of it.
It really is going to be a good Thursday. You got me thinking about the beach, man. You mentioned a whole lot of things like Sunday markets and craft drinks and the beach.
Craft refreshment.
What do you like? Craft ginger beer. Says Princess, do you ever go to the beach? Because I like Jamie. She's only been she said not in like the last 2 years.
2 years.
Do you know that since I've moved to Cape Town, since I've lived here, I've probably only been about 5 times, which is awful. It's shocking.
Wow.
But I was thinking you've got to have water. Got to have a lot of water.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit of a snack like some biltong or something like that. Do you ever go to the beach?
Yes.
Do you?
Yes.
And what's in your bag? Usually?
What do you take with you?
What do you pack in your bag?
It's my slippers, my cap, my sunscreen, my towel, and my water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the essentials.
You've got to have a hat.
I don't know,
hey?
but
You've
I
gotta
don't know.
have a cap.
Jamie Lee says she's got to have her conditioner to make sure that the edges are laid and kept.
Maybe it's a struggle we just can't relate to, man. And that's what I'm saying. Maybe as guys,
Maybe we should
get
start
off
taking
too
coffee
easy.
to
Can
the,
you
to
lay
the
some of that
beach as well?
100% Arabica
Yes.
on me, please? I don't know why I need it more today than is it the end of the year
I feel
vibes?
like, yeah,
Is it the end of the week
it
vibes?
must be. But I
Like
think
biorhythms.
a cup of Java on the beach could actually be quite nice.
Yeah, man. It's too hot.
No?
It's too hot. Iced coffee.
But then your body would like heat up and then
A
cool itself.
taste
like you
loved
sweat.
by those who have tried it. McAfee, great coffee, simple. See you after the break.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show. It's my feel-good breakfast show. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it. It is your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It is a Thursday and we are throwing shade. Have you not heard? Because I am going to bring it in. We're talking the sexiest man alive. And I feel it could be you, really.
No.
After we're going to make this announcement because it has really, been intense. I promise you. I don't know if you check social media yesterday, but tell us all about it.
Well,
I know you
yeah.
want to.
So we all love to observe the dynamics of couples who enjoy having fun with each other, and there's not many that do it as well as Chrissy Teigen and John Legend, right? So yesterday it was announced that the musical half of the pair has been named as the People's Magazine's 2019 Sexiest Man Alive. Yes, John Legend is the sexiest man alive, according to People Magazine. Some people are saying, yeah. Anyway, it was a big announcement that was made by 2017's Sexiest Man Alive, who happened to be Blake Shelton. Okay? Blake Shelton happened to be a Sexiest Man Alive at some point during the Tuesday Night Live episode of The Voice. I wasn't shading, I promise I wasn't. With the country singer graciously passing the torch to his fellow coach. And Legend accepted the honor right there, which came with a pair of jean shorts, bedazzled with his new awards acronym, which is VETGOTSMA. So, Vetgosma? Vetgosma?
Sexiest man alive. I know the last part is sexiest man alive. I don't know the first part.
Vetgosma, which I guess stands for VMA, Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony, and Sexiest Man Alive. What? Could you imagine John Legend wearing a pair of those? Your day would be made. So Chrissy made it known that the honor is all hers, as she teased the news on her Twitter 2 hours before it actually broke by tweeting this, quote, "I have big news and it's killing me. I can't say it, and it's not a baby." After the announcement, she updated her Twitter bio that read, demotivational speaker and currently sleeping with people's sexiest man alive. She also posted the John's sexy cover post on Instagram with the caption, quote, "You've come a long way, baby." I mean, they have fun with each other like that, and they troll each other back and forth, and it's cute to see them still having fun along with each other like that. But you had some objections, Jamie Lee. Talk to us about your objections to this vote, this public vote.
Okay, so here's the thing. I love John. I love all of him. I don't see what I did there. All his coverage. However, what is the criteria? Because I feel like Blake Shelton was last year, and then John Legend this year. There's been Jason Momoa. We have Chris Hemsworth.
Have they been?
No. So
you're saying that's the problem? They have not been.
That's my problem. Like, what is the criteria? Is it about personality? Is it because what is sexy then? Then, like, because he's cute. I love John Legend. I really do.
He's cute.
He cute.
You know what that means?
He cute. Like, hello,
you know what that means?
But like, he's not like, hello, who that? I don't know.
Okay, all right.
That's just my opinion.
What you're basically saying is that people have different criteria.
Yes.
And because, let's say, the likes of People magazine don't necessarily say, hey, we judge according to this, and this, that's why John Legend is the sexiest man. It's kind of like an up in the air thing, because then by that regard, you know, Prosper could be the sexiest man alive.
And he is. I love Prosper.
You know what I mean? Because it depends. So People magazine, next time, maybe go have a walk around Guguletu or Khayelitsha, and who knows? Or Steenberg, you might happen to spot your next sexiest man alive. I'm sure the gents are ready and willing to take the title and the honor from John Legend and carry that torch with as much sexiness as possible. But that's the latest news from the entertainment world.
Well, we're going to turn to sexy food, okay? That's what it's about. And this is going to be the sexiest food alive this morning. I can tell this just purely from the amazing smells, the aromas circulating through our kitchen at the moment. A fusion dish, okay, which brings together some of South Africa's favorite things. An open fire, we love it. Grilled meat, we love it. And curry spices, we love it. This is one not to be missed, please. So put down whatever you're doing and let us put ourselves in safe hands with Teresa. So we know that obviously you have the most amazing sweet treats, but I think you and I share a similar flavor profile. A lot of what you make, I'm like, oh my word, that's the best thing I've ever tasted. And I have a feeling that our chicken tikka skewers are going to be very much along that path. Yes. There are so many spices and aromas, some fresh. There's a lot popping. I'm guessing this is going to be our garnish. We're using throwing our beautiful Be Well canola oil. We've gone for the lemon flavor here this morning, and I'm using it to condition my skin as well. You can do that, actually.
Yes,
it really is worth it.
Yep.
But take us to the very beginning. There is a lot going into. Is this?
Yeah.
Chicken tikka, is tikka a set thing? Is it a set flavor profile, or is it kind of, because you hear it used a lot?
Yeah, and I think it gets adapted depending on what region you're in. You know, it's not sort of a set thing, but lots of flavor, lots of color. Don't be intimidated by the amount of ingredients we've got here.
Okay.
It's very, very easy. Basically, going to put it all together, make a delicious marinade.
Wonderful.
And,
and the fact that there's peanuts involved here, very, very exciting.
I know.
Okay, let's hop to it.
All right, so I've got some garlic, some ginger, and some chili.
Oil all over myself.
Nice and moisturised there.
That's the way I like to start. We were talking about earlier that you didn't take your conditioner to the beach, Jamie. Well, I've found a nice conditioner in the kitchen.
Right, so I've thrown some peanuts in there.
Bird's eye chili is my favourite at the moment. I love it. Just the right amount of heat. I sweat profusely when I eat too much chili, so I have to find it's the perfect balance. Okay.
Look at all of this. So we've got smoked paprika, turmeric, cayenne pepper, and garam masala.
Oh wow!
So we're going to put that all in there. Seems such a shame to mess up this beautiful spice.
Colour palette, spice palette, if you will. Yeah.
Beautiful. And then we've got cumin and coriander.
And you don't necessarily have to do that at home, but it can be quite cool if you've got a little black slate.
Yeah.
just lay out your spices before you use them. Yeah. Instagrammable.
Totally. I'm going to add some honey.
Honey, okay.
All right.
And again, this is all about that balance, I suppose. Yes. You want to have the sweet, the heat, bucket loads of coriander.
Coriander, yes.
But it's getting worked in, okay, to the recipe, so I'm not too averse.
Coriander, yes. And then we're using the Be Well garlic oil.
Okay.
To put that into a paste.
I think the zesty lemon could go just as well, but I love the fact that that flavour really does come through when you're dealing with an oil that has a very high smoking point, which is great. Their flavoured canola oils are magic. They're affordable. We know that they are sustainably sourced as well. The flavour is amazing, but they've got an unbelievable, equally amazing array of uses as well. Yes. Just like our sauce.
Right, so we're going to blitz this together.
Okay. smell from our sauce is amazing. It's immense.
Good. So I'm just going to give that a shake.
So obviously you can add a little bit more oil if you want to kind of
Yes,
up
if you need
the
to
liquid content.
Make it more of a paste. And another thing you can do is actually double up on this marinade, and then you can keep it in the
And
fridge
just
or
store
the
it,
freezer,
yeah.
and then you've got it for
Okay, cool.
for when you need a quick dinner, and then
Because obviously
smell it.
oh my goodness.
Amazing, hey?
I mean, just use that as a dipping sauce, if nothing else. That is so nice.
So what you're going to do is you're going to cube your meat. So we've got chicken today, but you can use beef, lamb, or cauliflower if you're going for the
that's
veggie
very
option.
clever. Oh yeah, and especially the smoky paprika, the curry flavors work on a cauliflower beautifully.
So delicious. So pop that in, give it a really good mix, and let it marinate. I would say for at least an hour, but if you could do overnight or a couple of hours even.
Yeah, and this is quite nice because it's
Better.
skewers. I mean, it can be quite diverse. A lot of people say use the brown meat, use the fatty brown meat so it doesn't dry out, especially on a braai. But there's something quite nice and fresh about using the breast on a skewer, but then you don't want it to dry out. So having a nice marinade that's going to coat it, that's going to give it that additional moisture, the oils, that's going to help a lot.
That's it. And in terms of your cooking method, you can put them on the braai, which is great because you get, again, that smokiness.
Sure.
You can grill them, you can fry them.
And it's a nice balance because I think we generally braais are very red meat heavy.
Yes.
Let's be honest. So to have a balance, and this can be quite nice and light. You pair this with a beautiful fresh salad. It can be a really nice light meal just done on the grill.
Yeah. And quick as well.
Yeah.
But you can put it on your griddle pan and then finish it off in the oven as well. That's another option.
How amazing does that smell? Got to invent that for our TV because you miss out on half of the enjoyment of being in our kitchen. The scents and smells are absolutely amazing. Okay, so our skewers on the go. Then what's going on over here?
Right, so this is our cucumber.
Please don't slip on the oil that I've poured all over the
I'll be very careful, yeah. Right, so we've got some double cream yogurt in the bowl, and we're going to be adding our Be Well lemon oil.
Lemon, okay.
So this is our sort of accompaniment for the chicken.
Oh, it's kind of like a tzatziki vibe, yeah.
So I'm going to add some cucumber.
And we've got beautiful cucumbers. I'm guessing in season at the moment because they are so sweet and delicious. My boy, I love it. If I'm struggling to get in greens, I'll just cube up cucumber and put that with whatever he's having. So if he's having his little nuggets, just bam, some cucumber squares.
So I've added a little bit more coriander, cumin.
Was that cumin, the spice that went in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would compare this to tzatziki. It's very similar, but obviously with a bit of a spice element as well.
Oomph.
And a bit of zing. So stir that together. Right, are you going to pop that on the plate for us?
Okay.
And I'm going to check on our chicken. That's looking great. Oh, delicious.
They just smell so amazing. And I quite like a bit of char on my skewer, like a chicken.
A little bit of extra flavour.
How do you like my cresting wave?
That is amazing.
It's called a wave of flavour. I've tried to emulate what Nicole, our amazing food stylist, has done, but I always fall horribly short.
Right.
Beautiful stuff. The keyword here, you want to SMS Be Well as a word to 33728, and we'll send you a link. You click on the link and we'll send you this full amazing ingredients list, and these are beautiful. It's popping with flavor, popping with color. It kind of really ticks every box. So while we finish off a little bit of char on our gorgeous grilled tikka chicken skewers, let's take you through exactly how we arrive at our end result. Take a look. So you might think I say this about all your recipes, Teresa, but this is a winner. It might be the winner. It's beautiful, and there's enough to go around. We're going to share this with our whole crew. Again, the keyword is be well. You SMS that to 33728, and we'll send you the recipe for these beautiful chicken tikka. And this is a great base. If you want to make anything tikka, you now have the base ingredients. And of course, key to both our gorgeous tzatziki-like sauce with a little bit of zing and a kick, and our tikka sauce, our marinade, our Be Well canola oils, and we've got two amazing flavor variants.
Some sexy food that we're making in the kitchen, isn't it?
Yummy, yummy,
Lovely
yummy.
stuff. Yeah, we're talking about the world's sexiest man. News that broke, is it yesterday?
Yesterday.
To the world, that John Legend is the sexiest man in the world, as voted for by People magazine. And we've been having debates about that. We're kind of like up in the air about it. Maybe you can tell us who's the sexiest man alive for you. Says Princess, I don't know. What do you make of this? Because Twitter apparently was having a day about.
They were saying he looks like Arthur from that
the kids cartoon.
Yeah. so
Arthur's
killing him.
that like
People-
Arthur's that rabbit-like kid who always wears he wears a jersey every day,
Exactly.
whether it's hot or cold.
Yeah.
People are saying John Legend looks more like Arthur than the sexiest man alive. But Princess, in your honest opinion, who is the sexiest man alive?
Oh, it's my nono, Tabisa from Expresso.
That is sexy right there. I don't know what else you're looking for. The jawline, the structure, the bite, the Ridge Forrester, the I don't know what else you call that, but it's there.
In his
you know?
words, a glass full of yasness. He always says that.
A glass full of
Yasness.
yasness. Ah, well, listen, we're on to an interesting conversation this morning. Maybe you can let us know, who do you think is the sexiest man alive? How about that? What?
Hello.
Nah, I don't guts that, you know. But if you say so.
Only you can make my day.
Win a trip to London from the 12th to the 20th of November with Travel Start, Virgin Atlantic, and in the company of our local explorers, Danilo Acquisto and Aquila Haron. Catch this travel fab duo on Expresso with their guide to the time of your life in London town. Vote for your favorite itinerary on the Travel Start website and put yourself in the draw for those 2 return tickets on Virgin Atlantic.
It's my feel-good breakfast show. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
I love that sound because you know it means our minds are going to be blown. Welcome to July with Expresso. And you're just in time for our daily tech updates and some interesting stories. Some inspiring. We've been talking a lot about sexy man. And obviously, John Legend has been voted as the sexiest man alive at the moment. Maybe it's his talent. Maybe people find talent sexy. But of course, you need a good camera to show that sexiness. And it feels like there is a new player in the market that could be dominating.
Absolutely. Now, I don't know if you know this, but in recent years, the 3 360-degree camera has become more popular for content
For sure.
creators because it's all about the content right now.
Yeah.
And their quality has increased drastically as creators demand better footage with better stitching and less tearing in imagery.
Sure.
Now, software has had a lot to do with the increase in performance, but hardware has also improved in leaps and bounds recently. Now, a lesser-known player called Kandoa has released a QCam 8K 360-degree camera, officially becoming the world's smallest 8K camera. Wow. Now, usually when you think about a 360-degree camera, like the likes of a GoPro, the
yeah.
Insta360 and Ricoh comes to mind. However, several other players have entered the market with valiant efforts, including Kandoa. The QCam 8K costs about $589. Imagine.
So I'm trying to put that into rand, so it's
like
about
7,000 rand.
Yeah,
Around there?
that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Now, also, it has the highest video resolution in its class, with other offerings coming in below 6K. Now, this could be the biggest thing to come to social media and vlogging in a long time.
They've got to get out there. They've got to get their influencers. No doubt, they'll give these cameras to a whole lot of really cool content, digital content creators, and let it flow. But that's cool. 8K is massive. But it's, to be honest, we're all consuming. Most of us are starting to consume more and more digital media as opposed to kind of mainstream. It has become the new frontier when it comes to technology like that, and I absolutely love it. More players, better quality.
No,
it's
definitely.
so cool, and we're getting closer and closer to broadcast quality that people can, or maybe we're even there yet. Half of the Olympics, the last Olympics was shot on cell phones, believe it or not. So, I mean, this is where we are. So that's cool. Really like it. Quite keen to maybe get my hands on one of those. So we're going to talk about tech and the disruption of tech. Now, I think most of us in South Africa very familiar with South African-based Naspers, powerhouse in the tech industry. Their wide range of businesses, industries that they're involved in. But it's not really a household name in the rest of the world, or at least not yet. And that's why it's pretty exciting to us, at least, that Bob van Dijk, Naspers CEO, will be talking at the TechCrunch Disrupt. It is one of the biggest technology conferences in the world, and it focuses heavily on startup companies at the moment. So Naspers, worth billions, they've come to the attention of the international tech industry through some of their investments. They certainly have a perfect timing, most specifically their early investment in Tencent. And if you're not aware, Tencent is the biggest gaming company in the world. Naspers still owns 31% of that Chinese business. So that stake is valued at around $100 billion. $100 billion. And that's a South African-based company. Well done, Bob van Dijk. So his presentation at TechCrunch Disrupt will shed more light on the South African technology industry, which can only be good for our local technology startups and economy. And here's the thing. I was part of a conference that there were, I think, 4 major games released by South African game developers over the previous fiscal year. Those 4 games were released internationally, and they made more money than the entire South African film industry put together. So we've got to know these things. We've got to watch what tech is doing in South Africa, because we are destined for big things. So hopefully that's inspired you out there. $100 billion. Come on, get out of here, man. But that's what's going on in our Tech Daily Update.
Can I help you guys?
I'll take it. Dion Wired, where humans go for technology.
Well, let's keep connected with current occurrences across the country. 2 days ago, severe thunderstorms hit parts of KZN, but what shocked the news headlines across the nation was the tornado that struck New Hanover through the township of Mpolweni near Wartburg. Now, 2 people were killed and 20 sustained injuries. Lebogang Makgati from the South African Weather Service is here to discuss how this natural disaster occurred and what residents of this area, and perhaps we as a nation also, can expect in the days to come. Lebogang, thank you very much for being here and joining us.
Thank you. Good morning, and to the viewers as well.
I think it was a big shock for all of us to have witnessed that, whether it be through social media or whether it be through just the news headlines themselves, but something that we, I think, as South Africans don't expect to hear of, a tornado. So tell us exactly what happened near New Hanover in KZN during the afternoon of the 12th of November.
Okay. Let me start by saying it's important that we note that KZN is one of the provinces that is highly vulnerable to meteorological hazards such as heavy rainfall, flooding, and severe thunderstorms. Most of the time we have our weather systems, they move from west to east. As they move, because they are large scale, they affect a widespread area, and hence we have seen the system is currently positioned over the Cape South Coast, yet the impact is felt as far as over KZN. And even with tropical cyclones that actually just positioned over the Mozambique Channel, whenever they track southwest, KwaZulu-Natal is one of the provinces that is highly likely to be hit by such. So back to the afternoon of the 12th, we had a cut-off low system that is positioned over the Cape South Coast. It's a slow-moving system at the moment, and what transpired is around midday, we started seeing thunderstorms develop over the Herigwala municipality and the Richmond area. Those thunderstorms continued to persist during the course of the day, and they will do so because the ingredients that are required for thunderstorms, the ones that actually sustain their lifespan, they were present in the atmosphere, so they sustained the lifespan of the thunderstorms, so such that they intensified and started to become severe. And when we say they become severe, they are likely to produce strong winds, damaging hail, large hail, flooding as well. So round about 2:30 in the afternoon, that's when the South African Weather Service upgraded the watch to a warning, which was then issued to disaster management and to the public over that area. And the storm continued to persist and intensify, and eventually the supercell thunderstorm led to a tornado being produced that was observed around 4-5 p.m. in the afternoon.
Now, what most of us have seen is perhaps video footage of the drivers who recorded the tornado as they were driving along the road there, but maybe lacking context in terms of the extent of the damage, in terms of infrastructure, vegetation, people's livelihoods and houses. We do know, unfortunately, that 2 people have lost their lives, and we do send our condolences to their families, and our thoughts are with those that have also sustained those major injuries, and we hope that they find recovery. But from an analysis point of view, what you know so far, how far has the damage gone?
Indeed, as the South African Weather Service, will also like to convey our heartfelt condolences to the affected families. At this stage, the South African Weather Service will be conducting a tornado assessment to try and determine the strength of the tornado. However, our preliminary assessment based on our observational data indicates a possible F0 scale tornado. That means the maximum gusts were less than 155 kilometers per hour. We are still awaiting a report from the Provincial Disaster Management Center as well to provide us, to indicate the extent of damage in the area.
From an infrastructure point of view, I believe that the tornado also struck a power station or power infrastructure. Were there any news on that?
Indeed, the tornado did move over a power station. However, we have not received any reports if there were any power cuts in the area.
Okay, we're seeing some visuals over there that were sent through, and we've been seeing these via social media as well. So let's talk about the weather conditions that residents can now expect in the days moving forward. And maybe we'll put up a graphic of a map there, and you can explain that to us a little bit.
Okay. What residents can expect, particularly over KZN, is that today the chances are still quite high for severe thunderstorms. The system is tracking slowly eastwards, and as I indicated, that they are a large-scale system and they will affect a wide area. Now, the chance is also there for residents in Limpopo and Mpumalanga. There is also a chance of severe thunderstorms. An alert has already been issued by the South African Weather Service that possible severe thunderstorms do exist for Polokwane municipality that could track all the way to Leboagomo, eastwards towards Begersfort as well. Mpumalanga Highveld, that will affect Emalahleni all the way to the Caroline areas. So most of KZN is still highly vulnerable for severe thunderstorms. However, for today, we expecting mostly flooding out of this system. And into tomorrow as well, we're still expecting quite a lot of rainfall for KwaZulu-Natal, possible flooding, heavy rain as well, flooded roads, mudslides as well. There's quite a lot of impacts that are still expected.
Yeah, all right. Well, at SA Weather Service is where the South African Weather Services are on social media. And of course, you can follow them over there. I, in fact, advise that you do follow them. Link up with them on their website as well to keep up with the latest updates on what is happening with regards to the weather, and also sharing, I think they share a whole bunch of information on how to keep safe during these times, which is very, very important. Lebogang, thank you very much for joining us. We do really appreciate it very much. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back after these.
Show that there's a glass and a half in everyone by lighting up the faces of orphaned and vulnerable children this festive season. Donate your pre-loved toys, books or games at the Cadbury Dairy Milk Generosity at the Gateway Theatre of Shopping in Durban between the 12th and 18th of November. You can also donate your pre-loved toys or new toys at selected Toys R Us stores or online at toysrus.co.za.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You are live with Expresso. So let's take you back a few steps. Last week, Friday, Emperor's Palace in Johannesburg came alive as the amazing top 25 finalists for the Mrs. South Africa pageant took to the stage to show us exactly why they were chosen out of thousands, literally thousands of hopefuls to take part in the grand finale. So it was a night filled with glitz, glamour, spectacle, and of course, the crowning of our brand new Mrs. South Africa. But before we get to know her a little better, let's take a look at how the evening went down.
Mrs. South Africa is a woman who's ambitious, driven, relatable, and always strives to be the best version of herself while encouraging others to do the same. Tonight, we'll meet the top 25 finalists who will contend for that coveted crown as we wait to meet the new Mrs. South Africa 2020. Joni, this is not just any ordinary pageant. It's not just about aesthetics and beauty, but it's more about women empowerment. Talk to us about that element of Mrs. South Africa.
The program is absolutely a women empowerment program, an entrepreneurship program, where women come through this program, they truly just rediscover themselves, they become the best versions of themselves. She's really the mother of the nation. She really, embraces all those elements of motherhood, of womanhood, of just being a woman and a female, and being a role model as well to other women in South Africa. And she'll also be going on to represent South Africa at the Mrs. World pageant in Las Vegas within 2 weeks, actually.
just to be part of this platform where women are celebrating each other, women are seeing each other all the time, and we're standing each other. It is amazing. I think for me, the perfect Mrs. South Africa is a wholesome woman, a woman who knows when she is vulnerable, when she is not okay, she can ask for help, a woman who knows that sometimes perfection is not possible, sometimes that you can be beautiful and be vulnerable. A perfect Mrs. SA is somebody who's relatable to all South Africans from all walks of life. So we have been looking for a woman that we can call our mom, somebody who will hold us and who will give us hope.
As someone who's walked this journey, how would you say these women are feeling tonight?
I can imagine and remember that these ladies are probably feeling immensely pressured, overwhelmed, maybe even a little paralyzed by the intense pressure. And all I can hope is that they settle into the moments, because this really is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for these women. The perfect Tammy Taylor Mrs. South Africa is a woman who owns her power and stays in her lane, someone who's completely authentic and true to herself.
Hey, yeah, break it down now, break it down now.
Alice, it must be so nostalgic coming back here where you were crowned Mrs. World at the end of 2017. How does it feel?
It feels so surreal, but it feels like I'm coming home. I feel like South Africa and I are destined to be together.
What would you say makes the perfect Mrs. South Africa?
A lady who is confident and someone who is really authentic, someone who is proud of exactly who she is, not trying to fit in a story of someone else, someone who is ready to go out there, smile, and show a lot of heart.
The cards on the tables, we're both showing heart.
It must be so nostalgic coming back here tonight where you were crowned Mrs. South Africa last year. How are you feeling?
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this evening. I'm looking forward to welcoming the new queen into this amazing network of women, the phenomenal sisterhood that I got the privilege to be a part of. So I'm excited. For me, what this year has done for me was to show that village girl, was to show that disfranchised women, or that woman who has been discounted from society, that it's possible, it can be done, irrespective of your background, you can be in your power today. And more than that, to also show that dreams don't have an address. They reside in the corridors of perseverance. And I believe that I was a doctrine of hope because here I am.
Your Tammy Taylor, Mrs. South Africa 2020 is Jacqueline.
Our brand new Mrs. South Africa 2020, Jacqueline Ferns, how are you feeling?
Oh my goodness, overwhelmed. I think it's going to take about a week for it to sink in. This is a dream, a lifelong dream of mine, and it's a beautiful moment. A platform like this just empowers you. It makes you remember who you are. It makes you remember what is important in life, and that's you. If you don't fill an empty vessel, you can't give to others. And this has truly been a filling year. It filled our empty vessels. It made us full. It empowered us as women, and now we can go out and empower.
We came, we saw, and we crowned a brand new Mrs. South Africa 2020. I have no doubt that Jacqueline will use this platform to better not only herself, but those around her. From us at Expresso, we wish you all the best during your tenure.
Mrs. South Africa.
Flying that, that flag so high.
Yeah.
We've got the lady of the moment in studio right now. So please give a warm, a feel-good welcome to your new Mrs. South Africa 2020, Jacqueline Ferns.
Yeah.
What?
Wow. So almost a week in now.
Yeah, it
Mrs.
still
South
hasn't
Africa.
sunken in.
Not yet.
No, it's not.
And
It still feels like a dream.
And as we heard now, the journey just kind of continues, and it's a ramp up from here, because 2 weeks from now you're literally getting on a plane to go and represent the country at Mrs. World. But let's quickly take a step back and look at how this journey, because it's not just a moment on one night that brings about the crown. It's been a year-long journey where you've been mentored, you've been mentoring, you've been giving of yourself and receiving quite a lot. How has it shaped your life?
Oh my goodness, it changed my life, and I will forever be grateful to this platform. South Africa, like they say, it's not a pageant, it's a women empowerment program. It's an entrepreneurship program. They teach you so many valuable skills, life skills, and things that you kind of like remember everything as you go along. The one thing that I took from this year is to be unapologetically me, to know who I am, to not apologize for the things that we do, for working hard and being successful, to celebrate yourself, like we were talking earlier, you know, to celebrate the big moments in life. You have to take some time out and celebrate yourself. And they've empowered so many women throughout this journey. I mean, I've got 24 sisters now, women that will forever be in my life, that has shaped me, that I've grown with. And it's all thanks to Tammy Taylor, Mrs. South Africa. I mean, Mrs. South Africa is a phenomenal platform. It is something, oh my goodness, I will forever be grateful for this journey and this stepping stone in life.
Now take us back to that moment. We've just seen it now, but what is going through your head as, of course, Kat says, the next Mrs. South Africa 2020, and they call out your name. What is going through your head at that time?
Well, he took his time. I was like to say it already.
Bit of drama.
You prepare yourself, but you can't really prepare yourself. You know, you always hope it's your name that's going to be announced next, but when they do, I think the shock, I was in pure shock. And then you're so elated, but it's so many emotions rolled into one that you can't explain to anybody how to act at that moment or what to do in that moment. And it kind of takes some time for you to realize, okay, what's happening now? I have to go here, now I have to walk there. But it's a beautiful moment. It's something that I will remember for the rest of my life. And every time I watch it, you know, I still get goosebumps. It
Look
was
at
a beautiful,
that perfect shot
beautiful
through the
moment.
confetti.
Yeah.
What a moment. Tell me about what because part of this is that it's a huge responsibility on your shoulders as well, not just as a representative of the country, but people look to you for inspiration as Mrs. South Africa. What do you plan to do? What is your vision for your year of reign?
Well, I'll continue with what I started with this year. I mean, I'm a brand ambassador for so many sponsors now, and then also for Women for Women, which is a beautiful platform for young girls. What Women for Women does in South Africa is something phenomenal. I mean, I've seen the difference firsthand, what they do for young girls in South Africa. And I mean, without Women for Women, so many young girls won't have an opportunity in South Africa. So to just push the program to help as many young girls throughout South Africa, you know, it's definitely one of the things I want to focus on. And then my personal, you know, charities as well. I mean, I'm on the board of director for Ngwana Baby House in Polokwane, and then our own charity as well, Be the Change, where we actually plant and promote spekbome to help to just reverse climate change. So there's many things that I want to push, things that I want to continue, grow further, grow more, and then to help empower women in South Africa. I mean, I think that is our main goal, to really get women to enter and to get a platform like this, because your life will truly be changed forever.
Now, you also spoke about that it hasn't sunk in yet. Do you think, when do you think it's going to actually sink in for you? It's a week already? No,
yes,
it
hasn't sunk in yet.
Mode.
I think when I actually slow down a bit, when I take it in and just breathe and sit back and look at the whole journey.
2 weeks from now.
Yes.
Mrs. World happening.
I know.
How are you preparing yourself for that moment, for that journey as well, that part of the journey? Because it is a week long that you'll be spending, I think, in Vegas.
I think this whole year has been in preparation for that. They have given us so many valuable skills that I will take with me. Just taking the support of my country as well, and my sisters with me to Mrs. World. And I mean, the Mrs. South Africa team, they are phenomenal. So, you know, from the ground running, we've been been starting to prepare for Mrs. World. And then our country also fantastic. I mean, I was at the embassy yesterday, and I already got my visa, so we're collecting it today. They are just phenomenal.
Excellent.
So I must say, kudos to South Africa. They've really been inspirational.
Kudos to you as well.
Yeah,
kudos
definitely.
to you. It is amazing. But we are going to have another chat later with you. But we're keeping it locked to your Feel Good Breakfast show right here, as later on we'll be finding a lot more about the reigning Mrs. South Africa, Jacqueline Ferns.
There's nothing smoother than winning when you buy Tropica. Buy any size and your favorite flavor of Tropica in fresh or long life. Find the unique code behind the label or the sticker. Then follow the entry details on the pack and you could win daily prizes of airtime, cash, LG Q60 smartphones, 55-inch LG UHD smart artificial intelligence digital TVs, steam dishwashers, Caribbean tan hampers, or guest watches. That's more than 100,000 prizes.
Tropica, nothing smoother.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast show.
So, of course, we're having a beautiful morning. Thank you so much for being a part of that. 1 hour done and dusted. Where has the time gone? So we're going to get back into our official duties right now as we commence with the second hour. Kat standing by with those news headlines.
On the national front this morning, hundreds of foreign nationals who have been camping outside the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees office in Waterkloof Road in Pretoria, Brooklyn, have been ordered to disperse by the High Court. Meanwhile, Eskom said yesterday it was repairing the infrastructure that had been damaged by a severe storm and tornado that wreaked havoc in New Hanover near Pietermaritzburg on Tuesday. 2 people were killed and at least 20 injured. On the international front, Zimbabwe's wildlife agency is to move hundreds of elephants and other animals in a dramatic bid to save them from a lethal drought. 600 elephants, 2 prides of lion, a pack of wild dogs, 50 buffalo, 40 giraffe, and some 2,000 impalas will be moved. Now, severe flooding in Venice that has left much of this Italian city underwater is a direct result of climate change, says Venice's mayor Luigi Brunaro. Only once since official records began in 1923 has the tide been this high. And finally, South African breweries, along with its judging panel, announced the winners of the annual SAB Environmental Media of the Year Awards at its headquarters in Johannesburg on Tuesday night. And Stroop, Journey into the Rhino Horn War, has bagged yet another prestigious award. The awards recognize South African journalists who've excelled at reporting on and creating awareness of environmental issues across print, electronic and digital media. Stroop has ignited worldwide interest in rhino poaching and has been screened at numerous film festivals as well as on TV channels around the globe. This is the 25th award for the filmmakers Susan Scott and Bonnet de Bott. And ecstatic de Bott said afterwards it was wonderful to be recognized back home as well. Well, on that note, let's quickly take a look at what is happening in the world of sport. Here's G.
Let's kick it off with more rugby news. In a very rugby-intensive week, Rugby World Cup winner and the oldest member of the current Springbok squad, Schalk Brits, has now announced that he will be retiring from rugby as well, and in fact for the second time in 2 years. And staying with rugby news, the former Springbok coach Heineke Meyer has parted ways with French top 14 club Stade Francais with immediate effect. That was after joining the club last year as director of rugby and head coach. Then on to cricket. Rain stopped the Mzansi Super League match between the Tshwane Spartans and the Nelson Mandela Bay Giants at Supersport Park. That was in Centurion last night. Then on to football, another retirement. Spain's star forward David Villa yesterday announced his retirement from football after 19 years of service. He was Spain's all-time leading goal scorer with 59 goals for his country. And in tennis, world number one Rafa Nadal saved a match point to beat Russian Daniil Medvedev 6-7, 6-3, 7-6. While second seed Novak Djokovic, he was stunned by Austrian Dominic Thiem 7-6, 3-6, 6-7. That, of course, in the round-robin stages of the ATP finals currently playing out in London. We'll continue to track those headlines as we progress.
Thank you so much, Graham, for that update. Now let's take a look at what's happening in the traffic in Gauteng, Johannesburg. There has been a multi-vehicle accident on the N12 westbound after Xavier Street. 3 lanes are currently blocked and causing heavy delays. Please use an alternative route this morning. Bring it back home to the Western Cape Century City on the N1 inbound. There's been an accident before Sable Road, obstructing the right shoulder. Delays can be expected, so please keep a lookout for this. And on the Metro Rail Central Line, there's an overhead power failure between Yanga and Langa, impacting the Chris Hani Captain's Clip train service. Trains are suspended until further notice, and commuters are advised to make use of an alternative mode of transport to and from Cape Town. That was a look at the traffic. Let's take a look at the weather.
Hey, babe, check this.
Fascinating.
You know, I don't mean to brag or anything, but
Don't ruin the moment. Prevent allergies or cold and flu with fast-acting powder nasal spray from the Nexa range. Brought to you by Pharmadynamics.
It's a beautiful day indeed, and we have asked you to send in your sunrise pictures. Casey Volhunter sent us this incredible sunrise from Belito. Mainly cloudy conditions can be expected with a thunderstorm in spots and cooler temperatures than the day before, reaching a maximum of 22 degrees. Henry van Wyk also sent us this amazing sunrise from Pietermaritzburg, where cloudy conditions are expected with a thunderstorm and occasional rain, reaching a maximum of 19 degrees. Now let's take a look at the rest of the country. Polokwane, 17-27. Heavy rainfall can be expected for Umbombela with a low of 16, peaking at 25. Occasional rain for you, Pretoria, with a low of 14 and a maximum of 29, so make sure to get that jacket out. Thunderstorms expected for Johannesburg with a low of 12, ranging to 28. Mahikeng, 14-32. High humidity for Klerksdorp with a low of 12 and a high of 30. Kimberley, 12-29. Bloemfontein, 11-28. Richards Bay, 18-22, and a strong thunderstorms expected for Pietermaritzburg with a low of 14 and a high of 19. Durban, 19-23. Occasional rain from Tata with a low of 11 and a high of 19. A couple of showers can be expected for you, East London, with a low of 17, peaking at 22. Craddock, 10-27. Port Elizabeth, 17-23. George, 15-20, and the lowest temperature in the country is for you, Sutherland, with an all low of 7 and a high of 21. A southeasterly wind of 35 kilometers for Cape Town with a low of 18 and a high of 22, so hold on to that hats. Worcester, 12-25. Springbok, 15-30, and the highest temperature in the country is for you, Uppington, with a low of 16, peaking at 32. It is a Thursday. Make it count.
Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you.
It's that time of the morning where we get to celebrate your birthdays. Because why? Because you're special, and today is your special day. Let's kick on,
with hat in hand, I was wondering if you were going to do the hat dance.
Oh, no.
I thought you sang beautifully as well.
Thanks,
at the Mr. South Africa finale. You were awesome, dude. No, we've hopefully got some singing to bring you, actually. We've had a couple of videos sent through. Thank you so much. This one goes out to Kurt Moses, courtesy of Cheslin and the entire DeVet family.
Hey.
Take a look.
H to the A to the PPY. Happy birthday.
That is something I did not expect, but I love it so much.
Oh man, you
H
made
to
my
the A
day.
to the PPY.
Oh, David family, you are the rock stars of the day. You take that award. Absolutely love it. Oh, now this next video comes via Jessie, and it's going out to Nazrana Khalil, and it's her second birthday too. Sweet. Take a look.
Day to Lassie, happy birthday to us. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
Oh, you guys are awesome, man. Two absolutely stellar videos.
You see what these videos do to us?
Oh,
you see what they
lovely,
do to us?
man.
They do this to everyone else out there who's watching. Thank you. Thank you for sending those through. We really appreciate those. All right, some of the messages that have come through. Happy 50th birthday to Miss Kumalo. We wish God can keep you for longer and fulfilling your heart's desires. This is from Slindo Anele, Slie, Simtopo, Bize, Stombe, Asime, and Luezi. So happy birthday there to Miss Kumalo. Then a message saying, I wish my son and daughter happiest 9th and 14th birthdays. May the Lord bless you guys more for the rest of your life. This is from your mom, I love you. This is to Kiara and Lashane. Now that's a wonder to me. So how many years apart? 5 years apart, birthday on the same day.
What are
That's
the odds?
incredible.
What are the odds? But connected cosmically. I love that. Then today, Arlene also celebrates one of those milestone birthdays that cannot go unnoticed. We wish you nothing but love, happiness, and success in the years to come from all her nearest and dearest colleagues. That's sweet, looking gorgeous.
I love that. A birthday that cannot go unnoticed.
Unnoticed, yeah. But they haven't mentioned the birthday, which is very respectful. I love that.
We love it.
And then another milestone birthday, actually. Happy sweet 16th birthday to my beautiful daughter, Sanela Siwe Giwu. May the good God keep blessing you more. I love you. That's very sweet.
And then on this day, I was blessed with a cute, charming boy. I named him Apiwe Busiso, and now he's 3 years old. I wish you a happy 3rd birthday, my baby. There we go, beautiful stuff. Message from mom there. And then a birthday dedication to my mama. Happy 39th birthday to you. Thank you for being the best mother ever. May you have many more birthdays to come. I love you, mama. And this is from your son, Zorian, and Ma Hazel. So happy birthday to you, Zenobia.
And then a happy birthday to Monique Anthony. May you be blessed with many more good things, and that's coming to you from your loving cousin, Maeve. And then a happy 41st birthday to Deirdre. Thank God for adding another year to your life. May he bless you more. Happy birthday, Deirdre.
A message here saying, I wish my little sister Nompumelelo Zuma a very happy 18th birthday. That's a very important one. May God bless you more. I love you so much. And then happy birthday to my lovely grandsons, Busiseo Apiwe Kabanisa. May your day be filled with joy and happiness. May God bless you more, my sunshine. This is from Gogo Pumsi. Happy birthday, Smusi.
Yeah, Gogo loves you, bro. And then happy 63rd birthday to Neri from her grandson Nihal and my mum, Shashika. Happy birthday. And then one last one to get through. Happy 23rd birthday to Jason Matthews. Thank you for being the young, fine gentleman that we have come to know. May our good Lord continue to bless you. And that's from the Matthews family, Jerome and Bonham families as well. Happy birthday, bro.
There we go. Loving it. listen, those videos we got earlier on were absolutely fantastic.
H to the
A to the PPY. We love it. You know what? Even if you just if you find yourself inspired to wish everyone out there a happy birthday.
It doesn't have to be directed at anyone in particular.
Send it through to us. 071-640-6551. That's our WhatsApp line where you can WhatsApp the video to. We'd love to hear you sing, wish people happy birthday. Just have fun with it.
Just go
as
crazy
we saw earlier on.
Just go
and
crazy.
if you want to also send through those birthday dedications, you can do so at birthdays@cordova.tv. That's the email address. And you know what? If it is your special day today, happy birthday.
Guess what? Courtesy of Dion Wired, we have new prizes for you. Up for grabs is an Epson printer and Samsung tablet bundle, a Nintendo Switch Lite, and a super stylish Smeg toaster and kettle combo. Simply SMS the keyword Dion Wired, your name and email address to 33728 to win. Plus, when you SMS in, you are entered into the grand prize draw to win a Tech Dash in a Dion Wired worth 100,000 Rand. Winning has never been so easy.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso, and you can probably tell by the excitement in my voice how pumped up I am about this next feature. From the 18th to the 24th of November, Cape Town's public spaces are going to be transformed into open-air galleries, theatres and performance venues, if you will, for the popular Public Arts Festival Infecting the City. I absolutely love the name alone. So joining us in studio to tell us a bit more about this year's festival and about his craft from the local and international artists who will be participating, to the significance of the festival in the theatre market, I think in our general consciousness, if you will. Cultural studies scholar, multimedia enthusiast, co-founder of the Noise Inside Collective, Mlondi Dubazane. Mlondi,
thank you.
Welcome, man. Did you like your little intro there, your little CV?
Yeah, I never thought that would happen, actually.
Did I tick every box,
that was pretty good.
You already strike me as an incredibly interesting person, because you're obviously in a wonderful stage of life where you're studying, you're doing your master's, in fact.
I am, yeah.
But you're still putting yourself out there in a very creative way. And I'm still going to need to wrap my head around what it is that you actually do. And I'm going to force you to kind of pinpoint exactly, to give yourself a title. But I think let's start at the beginning of the story here for me. This festival, what is the significance of this performing arts festival? What is it effectively?
Infecting the City is the longest running public arts festival in South Africa and in Africa, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
It basically brings the work to the public. So you might be going from the train station to a shop, and then you'll see an artwork in between that, and then you'll stop. And that's the beauty of what Jay Pather, the head of the festival and the head curator, has done, is that he's found a way to bring the festival to the public and transform public spaces that you kind of walk past every day and reimagine them.
I love that. Rejuvenate, breathe life into the city and infect its people with creativity, with critical thinking. I think that's at the heart. What I always take away from my theatre experiences and being lucky enough to have such an amazing kind of public performance kind of theatre, if you will, in South Africa, where we get to enjoy the performances of like you think critically. Why do you do what you do? What motivates you to be a performer in this way?
Woo. These responses, hearing what you're saying at the moment, that you could walk in with whatever happened that day and whatever thinking you have, and see an artwork, and it can transform your thinking. But also, besides from that, it's taking kind of everyday interactions and making them beautiful on stage or in public is the thing that really motivates me to keep doing this. It's this human-to-human interaction, which is what makes theatre beautiful.
I mean, you're going into public spaces, it's like you're there. It's not like you're sitting in an audience and there's lights in between.
Of course.
So what is your performance titles? Have you titled your performance, and what is it essentially? What are you? Are you a dancer? Are you an actor? How would you express what you do?
I express myself as a multidisciplinary artist, so I'm a dancer, I'm an actor, I'm a writer, I'm a director, because the realm of theatre at the moment requires you to be able to need to know how to do all those things
You
in
need
one.
to be that full story.
But about my work, the title of my work is Da or Ta. It's spelled T-A. It's Da being father or Baba, and Ta is something that I used to grow up hearing my father say as a thank you, being thankful. Ta. Yeah.
Sure.
So it's an ode to my father, but it also uses pop culture references and kind of it's a look into masculinity and intimacy between men and in myself also.
Good timing for that.
Yeah.
Very good timing for that. I think that we have an opportunity, and we've certainly felt it in our space within the public eye, if you will, that we've got to continue that conversation as men. We've got to start changing the narrative. So this is a great way to do that.
100%.
Is there a planned space that you're going to be doing this? How do people take in this festival? Must we just be open to it popping up in front of us?
Well, you can probably, to start off, if you're watching, you can go on www.infectingthecity.com to access the program. With regards to my work, it's at UCT Hidden Theatre, Little Theatre, sorry, on Hidden Campus at 8:45 p.m. But also just be open to realizing that between the 18th to the 24th of November, you will be experiencing a lot. Anything and everything can happen. And that is the exciting thing about Infecting the City.
Yeah, just be warned, you may be infected. And with this, when it comes to creativity, there is no cure. We want to spread it. We want it to go viral. Thank you so much for infecting us with your enthusiasm apart from anything else. And good luck with the rest of your masters. I know it's a bit of a heavy year for you, so continue to conquer that. But, buddy, you break a leg on stage and wherever you end up performing this. And thanks for kind of filling it. I've learned a lot. I now know.
Thank you for having me.
I feel like I know it is what it is that you do. But all the best of luck with the festival, man. And then, as we said, you can, of course, get all of those details on infectingthecity.com. Find out where these performances are going down so that you can be infected.
Well, inspiring stuff on your Feel Good Breakfast show. And now for another story from which you could draw some more inspiration. Now, when you've spent 41 years in prison, there will have been plenty of time to reflect on your life. And so it has proven with former inmate Joseph Bass. His decades in and out of incarceration and his inner thoughts on those around him have resulted in an incredible artistic talent showing itself late on in life. And with it, a turnaround with great promise.
Joseph entered the prison system in his teens, and having decided at this late stage to turn the page and take up a pen and paintbrush, he wishes he could have told his 14-year-old self to choose art over crime.
Art brought big transformation into my life because it brings calmness to me, and I love it so much. It disturbs me to stand up to go get a glass of water, because the time spent to get a glass of water, I can create an eye. I can't go without it. Whatever happens, I want to do art.
How I met Joseph is actually through another artist who I was helping, and at the table I saw one sketching of Joseph, and I asked the guy that worked for me to please ask who is this artist, because I like to meet him. My initial reaction for Joseph artwork was a big wow. I just think he's phenomenal. I never seen someone doing such beautiful portraits of himself, and I thought this is beautiful. When I look at his art, I see his moods, I see his state of mind in his portrait. And as an artist, for me, it's just phenomenal to find someone who can draw themselves. It's very, very difficult to do a self-portrait.
When he draws, he wants to express the road he's traveled in and out of prison, and for people to feel the emotion of the moment. Not one to shy away from his record, he bravely chose to make it a subtle subject of his work.
There was an art program that started in 2015 from prison, and then that's where I start to take it on seriously, because now I'm realizing I'm a grown-up, I'm a mature man, I can't go back to prison. I have to do something with this that I have. This God-given talent of doing art, drawing, painting, sculpturing, I can't go without it. So I'm started taking it seriously and develop myself and build myself. People encourage me because they saw potential in me. I have to push this thing. can see I'm not a beautiful man, surfacely, but I can show you inside I'm a much changed man than on the outside. So people used to make remarks on my looks, and I didn't like it. And when I entered this art program and it came out beautifully, from then on I realized, no man, you have to make peace with yourself the way you look. And don't bother what other people say, because how you look, you can't change it. You have to accept it. And that's why I love to draw myself.
What made me believe in Joseph is his humbleness, that his art is so perfect and he is totally not aware of it. This naivety and the simplicity of his art that took me with him, and that I want to help him develop and reach his full potential. As soon as Joseph's going to start making a living out of his art, it's going to be an absolute no return to where he was. At the moment, Joseph is a struggling artist. He struggles financially. We support him and help him, but I think that as soon as he'll have an exhibition and people will get to know him, he will never go back this way. He lives his art. You can see it in his portrait. I think he's phenomenal. I love his art.
For all the emotion his work evokes in those who see it, the greatest power of Joseph's work is in how it's restored his sense of self, humanity, purpose, and place in the world.
Talk about inspirational stuff indeed. What a story. Can you imagine that, Jacqueline? Being in prison for 41 years and then discovering this talent as an artist and then being able to create art as we've seen on the screen right now.
And not just any talent. I mean, that art is something phenomenal.
Absolutely.
It is exquisite.
Yeah. But as we were discussing with Sis Princess earlier on, beach days are here. The summer is here. Are you a regular beach goer?
Oh my goodness, I love the beach.
Yeah?
I love, love, love the beach. I'm just a beach bum. I will lay on the beach the whole day, from the morning till the evening, and just...
Well, as the new...
And just be.
As the new Mrs. South Africa, Mrs. Ferns, I'm afraid beach days are going to be very different for you now. You can't just go to the beach. But earlier on, we were talking about the 5 essentials that you want to have in your bag when you go to the beach. What are yours?
Number 1 is definitely sunscreen.
Yeah.
I believe in sunscreen.
Mm-hmm.
Most definitely the number 1 thing on my list.
Yeah.
And then a good book.
A good book, yes.
I love a good book. You need a good book when you're out on the beach.
I mean, reading a book while you're listening to the waves crashing.
Yes,
Oh, it's beautiful.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
And then some oil to help with the whole tanning process.
Yes.
Very important. And then a good spritzer, like a face spritzer.
Okay.
Just to cool down.
Yes.
I mean, as girls with our hair, you know, we can't always go into this, the ocean.
Okay, all
It's
right.
rough, so we just spritz.
A good spritzer and one more.
I think maybe hair oil as well, to keep the hair intact, yes?
The ladies are all about the hair.
They're all about, yeah.
Because Jamie Lee said that one of hers is conditioner in order to keep the edges nicely laid down and nice and flat. I didn't even know you use conditioner for that.
Yeah, with guys, it's different. When you go to the beach, you just go to the beach. We have like a whole preparation process to conserve everything, to make it just look normal.
And then another discussion we had, which we're currently having on social media, and let's quickly take a look at those comments, because John Legend, in case you don't know, has now been crowned People Magazine's sexiest man. And so we asked people out there, but who do you think is the sexiest man? Because apparently some people didn't agree that John should be the sexiest man in the world or alive. So here's what you had to say. On Facebook, I think our first comment came through from Banele Ngobo, who says Ryan Reynolds is the sexiest man, right, alive. And then some other comments came through on, hey, what? No, I promise I had nothing to do with that.
Of course you didn't.
Thanks, Chantal. That's very kind of you. Skip. Let's go to the next one. Okay. Oh, Fatima Felix Jackson says, have y'all seen Sia on Instagram in his SA Speedo? Come again? Ooh, okay. And then Yonela on Twitter says here, the only sexiest man alive I know is Mapimpi, #Expresso Show. Listen, we are loving this. You let us know. You are the people, okay? People Magazine may have had their vote, but you are the people that we want to know from. Who is the sexiest man alive? So I've got to ask you, Mrs. Ferns, other than your husband.
Oh, damn, I just want to go. like
Who is the
bracelets.
sexiest? So according to you, who would then be subsequent to that as the sexiest man?
Well, after my husband.
Yes.
Oh yes, there he is.
There he is. Hello,
Such a gorgeous man.
Making
I mean,
a
really.
splash.
What's that guy that plays Thor?
Oh, Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, yes.
Chris Hemsworth? Wow.
That's the sexiest
The
man
ladies are
after him.
agreeing. Okay, so...
But he even knows that. Like, we have this thing, like, he's number one, and then Chris Hemsworth, definitely number two.
Okay, all right. Well, Jamie Lee definitely agrees. Well, your husband could probably play a version of Thor. Look at those arms,
I
those
know,
shoulders
he can.
that have done the work in the pool.
Sorry, Chris Hemsworth, 100%.
Yes,
the
there we
Hemsworth
go, you
brothers
see?
together. I am feeling you.
Yes.
Sorry, I just had to come in. I'm so sorry. But that is what I'm talking about.
That is
sexy.
pure man.
And your husband's also very delicious.
I
Hello,
know,
I'm sorry,
isn't
but-
he?
Hello.
I know.
I love how Jamie Lee says,
Very
hello,
lucky.
I'm sorry. We're gonna take a quick break. We gotta go. This is getting too hot. Ladies, calm down. Jump in the pool. I don't know. Do something.
Win a trip to London from the 12th to the 20th of November with Travel Start, Virgin Atlantic, and in the company of our local explorers, Danilo Acquisto and Aquila Haron. Catch this travel fab duo on Expresso with their guide to the time of your life in London town. Vote for your favorite itinerary on the Travel Start website and put yourself in the draw for those 2 return tickets on Virgin Atlantic.
Join us for the Taste Master, Tuesday evening at 7:30 as 8 finalists are down to 7 and headed for the wine country to master farm to fork seasonal dining. The challenge, to make fresh honey the hero of an unbeatable dish, win over judges Zola Nene and Gregory Zarnecki and make it to the final 6 of the Taste Master. That's Tuesday evening at 7:30 on SABC3. The stage is yours. Own it.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It is your feel-good breakfast show on a Thursday morning. Oh, we have had so much fun this morning. We're talking about the sexiest man alive. We have Mrs. South Africa, everything. It is a really, just a good morning,
And
right?
it's flying by. Every time I blink, another half hour passes, but it is the half-hour mark, which means time to get back into the news.
And on the national news front, hundreds of foreign nationals who have been camping outside the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees office in Waterkloof Road in Brooklyn, Pretoria, have been ordered to disperse by the High Court. Meanwhile, Eskom said yesterday it was repairing the infrastructure that had been damaged by a severe storm and tornado that wreaked havoc in New Hanover near Pietermaritzburg on Tuesday. Unfortunately, 2 people were killed and at least 20 injured. On the international news front, Zimbabwe's wildlife agency is to move hundreds of elephants and other animals in a dramatic bid to save them from a lethal drought. 600 elephants, 2 prides of lion, a pack of wild dogs, 50 buffalo, 40 giraffe, and some 2,000 impalas will be moved. Meanwhile, severe flooding in Venice that has left much of the city underwater is a direct result of climate change, says Venice's mayor Luigi Brugnaro. Only once since official records began in 1923 has the tide been higher. And finally, 17 black rhinos have been released into Malawi's Liwonde National Park after arriving from South Africa as part of a conservation effort aimed at keeping the local population of the endangered species healthy and safe. Peter Fernhead, Chief Executive of African Parks, a private conservation trust that runs game reserves in Malawi, said extensive measures to protect these animals include aerial surveillance, daily ranger patrols, and the integration of the most advanced technology to enable live tracking. Now, British troops also patrol the reserves, and Britain's Prince Harry has been involved in conservation efforts at Liwonde for some time now. There are fewer than 5,500 black rhinos remaining in the wild. Well, that's a wrap-up of your news headlines this morning. Right now, let's take a look at the sporting world with Graham.
Thanks, Kat. Let's touch on another retirement story attached to rugby post-World Cup. Rugby World Cup winner and very notably the oldest member of the current Springbok squad, Skulk Brits, has now announced his retirement from rugby. That's for the second time in 2 years. Maybe it'll stick this time. Then former Springbok coach Heineke Meyer has parted ways with French top 14 club Stade Francais with immediate effect. That was after joining the club last year as director of rugby and head coach. Then on to cricket. Rain stopped the Mzansi Super League match between the Tshwane Spartans and the Nelson Mandela Bay Giants. That was at Supersport Park in Centurion last night. Then on to football and another retirement. Spain's star forward David Villa yesterday announced his retirement from football after 19 years. He is Spain's all-time leading goal scorer with 59 goals. And in tennis, world number one Rafa Nadal saved a match point to beat Russian Daniil Medvedev 6-7, 6-3, 7-6. That while second seed Novak Djokovic, he was stunned by Austrian Dominic Thiem 7-6, 3-6, 6-7 in the ATP finals taking place in London. More on all of those stories on the top of the hour.
Thank you so much, G, for that update. Let's take a look at what's happening in the traffic. Gauteng Southgate, there's been a multi-vehicle accident on the N12 eastbound after the Uncle Charlie's interchange. 2 lanes are currently blocked. Please approach with caution. Bring it home to the Western Cape, Matroosfontein. On the N2 inbound, there's congestion between Robert Sobukwe Road and Black River Parkway. The average traveling speed is 15 kilometers per hour with delays up to 20 minutes. And on the Metrorail Northern Line, there's an extended travel time of approximately 60 minutes on the Strand Muldersvlei line due to current infrastructure conditions, sets out of service and a planned maintenance work at Blackheath. That was an update on your traffic. Let's take a look at the weather. Now we have asked you to send in your sunrise pictures this morning, and Tabo Kumalo sent us this beautiful sunrise from Durban South Coast, where mainly cloudy conditions can be expected with an evening thunderstorm reaching a maximum of 23 degrees. Kalinda Kfam sent us this amazing sunrise from Umkomas in KZN, where cloudy conditions can be expected with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm in spots reaching a maximum of 22 degrees. Now let's take a look at the rest of the country. In Polokwane, 17-27. Heavy rainfall for Umbombela with a low of 16 and a high of 25. Occasional rain for Pretoria with a low of 14 and 29, so get that coat out. Thunderstorms expected for you, Johannesburg, with a low of 12, peaking at 28. Mahikeng of 14, 32, and high humidity for Klerksdorp with a low of 12 and a high of 30. Kimberley, 12, 29. Bloemfontein, 11, 28. Richards Bay, 18, 22, and strong thunderstorms expected for you, Pietermaritzburg, with a low of 14, reaching a maximum of 19. Durban, 19, 23. Occasional rain for Mthatha with a low of 11 and a high of 19. A couple of showers expected for East London with a low of 17, peaking at 22. Craddock, 10, 27. Port Elizabeth, 17, 23. George, 15, 20. And the lowest temperature in the country can be found in Sutherland with an all-low of 7 and a high of 21. Southeasterly wind of 35 kilometers per hour for you, Cape Town, with a low of 18, peaking at 22. Worcester, 12, 25. Springbok, 15, 30. And the highest temperature in the country can be found in Uppington with a low of 16 and 32. It is a Thursday. Make it count.
as you can see behind me, our crew hard at work and our head stylist, Bronwyn Day, laying out some of the hottest trains you will see on the shelves in Woolies. It's all about swimwear. We're going to take you inside some of the trends that you've got to be tracking ahead of what promises to be a pretty hot summer. We'll see you in a moment.
As the new Mrs. South Africa, Mrs. Ferns, I'm afraid beach days are going to be very different for you now. You can't just go to the beach. But earlier on, we were talking about the 5 essentials that you want to have in your bag when you go to the beach. What are yours?
Number 1 is definitely sunscreen.
Yeah.
I believe in sunscreen. Most definitely the number 1 thing on my list.
Yeah.
And then a good book.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast show. It's another beautiful morning, and we thank you for being here, for tuning in. It's so good to be in your company. Now, in case you didn't know, this past Saturday, Jacqueline Ferns walked away from Empress Palace with the title of Mrs. South Africa 2020. And we're back with her to find out just a little bit more about our current reigning queen before she makes her way to Vegas to represent the country at Mrs. World. And I hope you've been having fun. I know we take a lot of your time being here. You have to wake up early, but we hope we make it worth your while.
No, I love it, yeah. There's coffee.
There's a lot of coffee. You're in a beautiful part of the country. I would imagine this process must be a crash course in South Africa for you, because now you are representing the country. And we keep reinforcing that in less than 2 weeks you're going to be competing against the rest of the world. I hope we're not completely freaking you out. But what would you say? You're obviously, in effect, representing Polokwane, where you're from. How much of the country have you seen? How do you feel about this country of ours, and what do you think is the most beautiful place? And I'm saying Cape Town's pretty cool. Come on.
Oh my goodness, I've seen pretty much the whole of South Africa. I love our country. I've been all over the world. I was the air hostess for 3 years.
Oh, cool.
And there's just nothing like South Africa. Nothing. I've been everywhere, so I feel I can say that. But there's nothing like our country. There's nothing like our people, our culture, our warmth. South Africa, we are truly the warmest people, like, you know, emotionally. And look at this country, it's so vibrant. Every province is different from each other, but it's also so similar. There's so many things.
Do you have a favorite place in South Africa where you...
Yes, Cape Town.
Really? Is it Cape Town?
Don't whisper, proclaim it.
Proclaim it, girl. You're allowed to say it. You're allowed to say it.
No, Cape Town, most definitely. I always smile when I'm here.
Yeah.
There's just something about Cape Town. No, this place is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
No matter what the weather, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, or the wind, which is pumping at the moment.
But let's talk about your other interests as well. You're a business owner.
Yes.
You own a boutique clothing range and company?
I do with Casper Bosman. So it was my first ever business. He's my business partner, and I love it. That's where my love, Closet Couture. That's where my love for women grew as well.
Yeah.
And making a woman feel beautiful. And then I saw the power of if you make a woman feel beautiful, how powerful she feels immediately. You know, her whole emotional value changes. And from Closet Couture grew a modeling school that I own.
Yes.
And that is just where, you know, the whole women empowerment things started roller coaster, you know.
So all of these kind of fused together, and I'm sure will play quite a vital role in your year of reign.
Definitely, yes. And I've seen the effect that I always say, if you empower women, you empower the country, because women are the mothers of a nation. You know, we kind of hold everything together within a country. So the more powerful the women of a country become, the more powerful the country become. Yeah. And that's the thing with Mrs. South Africa as well. The empowerment program just empowers so many women of so many different provinces within South Africa. And if I empower you, you go out and you empower somebody else, and we create a ripple effect of empowerment. A powerful woman can conquer the world.
And there is an economic underpinning, there is an emotional component there as well. But I'm going to flip the script here just a little bit and say, behind every successful and powerful woman, there is an awesome man.
Look at that.
Look, not everyone has their own Olympic gold medal winner in the mix, and a world record holder. Lyndon, obviously a swimmer that we all know and love, who's achieved some amazing things, is hubby. What's next for the Ferns? What's on the cards for the family? Where are you guys in your life cycle?
Oh my goodness, we're growing together as a couple, and our dreams are fusing together as well, which I think is beautiful. And as a couple, you really have to, you know, if you want to be a power couple, you have to, teamwork makes dream work. You have to work as a team together. And that's something we can definitely do. We are great teammates, and we're just loving life at the moment. You know, we're in the process of looking into adoption.
Wow,
so,
good luck.
We are looking forward to become parents. You know, it's been a big dream of ours for quite some time. And yeah, he's just, oh my goodness, he's the love of my life.
Is he watching right now?
I don't know.
You better be. You better be, buddy. But I hope you're looking at what's come over the face right now, because there's clearly some magic there. I love that. So, absolutely love it.
So, I mean, you've been through, I'm sure, a crazy week, and it hasn't stopped. But when you do get some time to unwind, what is it that Mrs. South Africa loves to do? What's your favorite thing?
Well, we love to travel.
Yeah?
We're actually on our way to Italy on Friday.
Oh,
so,
nice.
As in tomorrow?
Yes, it's yes, as in tomorrow.
That's why you need to get your passport today.
Yeah, exactly, that's why.
Oh, yes, we're going tomorrow. I forgot.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's amazing.
It has been a whirlwind week for you, don't worry, girl. We
It's
get
been
it.
crazy. But I'm meeting him there, and that's one of the things that we love to do. We love to travel and just get away from the world a bit, you know, be in our own world and enjoy each other's company.
So here's the thing. Are you going to take the sash with you? Are you going to wear the sash? Are you going to take it? You're just going to keep it in your hand, like, just keep it close.
South African.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's your role now.
It really draws a lot of attention, you know, this whole attire.
Oh, wow. Listen, it's amazing having you here with us, Jacqueline Ferns, Mrs. South Africa. And enjoy Italy and come back refreshed and rejuvenated to carry on your duties as our reigning queen. And all the best for your year.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for all the
absolute pleasure. Well, we're in Cape Town. You know where to find us. You're welcome to come back anytime. But all the best of luck with Mrs. World as well.
Thank
Go
you
out there
so
and just continue to do what
Very
you're doing.
excited.
And so from a sash that draws a lot of attention to outerwear, bikinis that will be drawing a lot of attention over the summer season.
Absolutely. What a beautiful soul she is, Mr. South Africa. But it is also that time of the year, ladies, where you can't ignore it and hope that it will go away, or try and dodge the aisles on the way to the grocery department. I know it is swimwear season and time to be bold and feel good on the beach or at the pool, wherever the holidays and sunshine finds you. So why not join us this morning in finding the perfect swimsuit that not only flatters your silhouette, but ticks all the trend boxes too. Joining us in studio is my favorite, Bronwyn Women Day, a stylist who knows some top tips and tricks for feeling your best while catching them rays, and of course, Mrs. South Africa. So welcome you two beautiful ladies. And you're going to be sharing some of your tips as well with us. But Bronwyn, what are some of the hot trends that we need for this sexy summer that's coming up now?
So Jamie, it's all about graphics, bold colors. As you can see here on the grid, there's a lot of monochrome. There are sort of hardware details, there's animal print, and then obviously beautiful neutrals with palm prints, leopard print, and bright, bright colors. So the runway trends have really sort of influenced what's here and what's hot for summer, but the choices are endless. Absolutely.
I love it, I love it. I'm seeing a lot of these prints. Very like vibrant out there.
Gorgeous.
Mrs. South Africa, I mean, you literally had to walk the runway in swimwear the weekend. Tell us about that. Like, what is something that stands out for you on the display today?
I love animal print. I'm very much one of those women that I will wear animal print from head to toes.
Me too.
I have to sometimes just contain myself. And I love big, bold colors, especially if you didn't have enough time to get into shape. Like, you know, a very busy swimwear print really does flatter your body.
Absolutely.
And yellow is just the color of the season. So, you know, on a nice brown body, yellow always looks absolutely fantastic.
Just gives a little pop.
It does. It really, really does.
Absolutely. Now, we're always seeing that these looks comes back again over and over. Celebrities recreated. Who are some of your favorite celebrities that has been slaying the swimwear game?
Well, I've always kind of gone to our classics. And, you know, our Marilyn Monroe in the 50s, she really was iconic in the white swimsuit. Halle Berry in the bold orange. I just loved that Bond moment where she came out the water. And obviously Lady Diana, always classic, always chic. Monochromes were one of her signatures, but she also loved the full piece. And so the full piece swimsuit is very, very big, as you can see.
Yeah, and that's what I think, because a lot of people think that when you're wearing a full swimsuit, you kind of just like, it's not as sexy. But look at that, Marilyn Monroe is literally making it look so sexy and just keeping all that curves in. Now, talking about curves, because not everyone feels comfortable in showing too much skin, and me, for one, is like a plus size. How would you then bring that back home, you know, with people that's a bit more bustier, has a bit more booty, and a bit of like a mom tum going? How would you then incorporate the swimwear for that?
Yeah, so I've got a few pieces here that I really like that kind of tick a few boxes. So I love the tankini. So if you've got a problem area around the tummy, a tankini is always really nice. And again, like you were saying, the print is just still bold and still makes you feel fashion forward. I love the classic ruching detail on this with the halter neck. It kind of raises the bust and emphasizes possibly a smaller bust with a bigger tummy area. And obviously asymmetrical details are also really flattering for a smaller topper half and disguises. You know, you want to draw the attention to the top half and away from your problem areas. And again, like we were saying, a beautiful print can just kind of make you go, wow, instead of, oh, look at the problem areas.
Absolutely, it's bold. Now, I know, Mrs. South Africa, you want to show us how you do it, the walk, but we do have another model here to show how you do it with the way Woolies does it. So can we bring the model in?
Yes, so Laura's here, and she's wearing something really bright and fun.
Yeah.
Good morning. And she is brave, and I've got a beautiful sarong, which I love in Woolies. It's the strap. It's got a beautiful natural feeling. I love the frill on this. Is the full piece version of the one up on the grid.
Yes.
And it's got the little empire detail, so it's very flattering. I just love the bright, bright colors. Don't you love it?
Oh, absolutely.
Really pretty.
Open it up a bit.
Yeah. Show us. And it's got the little,
gorgeous.
you know, sort of retro feel. We were saying about runway trends, and retro shapes are also really big for summer. And I've just paired it with some tortoiseshell sunnies and a cat eye frame. The glittery sandals, which are very big for summer. And I just love this sort of fun, fresh feeling.
Very playful, yeah.
Very playful.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love also that you paired it with a sarong, and we are going to be talking a bit more about cover-ups later.
Absolutely.
But just flaunt it, yes.
Yes.
Hello. Gorgeous, very beautiful.
Very
and I do,
beautiful.
like you said, that retro feel is definitely in the 90s.
Absolutely.
Last week we were speaking about the glasses, so it is just beautiful to pair that all together, and that is like some of your hot trends for the summer.
Yes, absolutely.
So beautiful swimwear that suits absolutely every summer soiree, no matter your body shape. You can shop all these holiday-worthy looks from your nearest Woolworths store, or you can get them online or on the Woolworths app. But more of this after this.
There's nothing smoother than winning when you buy Tropica. Buy any size and your favorite flavor of Tropica in fresh or long life. Find the unique code behind the label or the sticker. Then follow the entry details on the pack and you could win daily prizes of airtime, cash, LG Q60 smartphones, 55-inch LG UHD smart artificial intelligence digital TVs, steam dishwashers, Caribbean tan hampers, or guest watches. That's more than 100,000 prizes.
Tropica, nothing smoother.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. This is your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso on SABC3. Welcome back to it. It's so good to be in your company at the start of a brand new day. Now, we live in a world of clickbait and fake news here, fake news there, as Tabisa would say, fake news everywhere. And it's very, very hard to tell what is real from what is not. So we're introducing a new segment called Fake News to see whether we can tell what is real and what is not. So it's going to be very easy, guys. The rules are very simple. I'm going to read you two headlines. All right. Two headlines. And you need to tell me which one's real, which one's fake.
Okay, so one of them will definitely be real.
Yes, and one of them will be real.
Okay, will be fake. Okay.
Are you ready?
Okay, now I'm up for that.
Here we go. Here's our first story. Woman left blind after spending $26,000 on tattooing her eyeballs. That's one story. There we go. Or man tattoos a picture of his face on his face.
Look, people are silly, so I'm going to go with the first one being the fake story and the second one being real. How do you feel?
I'm going to go the opposite way, because why would you have a face on your face like that? Doesn't make
So you believe that somebody actually tattooed their eyeballs? All right, well, here's the truth about it, ladies and gentlemen. The first headline is true. Amber Luke, who's a 24-year-old from Australia, has over 200 tattoos from head to toe and is no stranger to body modification. And after spending 40 minutes in the chair to get blue ink tattooed in her eyeballs, she went blind for 3 weeks, and she described the experience as, quote,
permanently
brutal. Wow. Okay, all right.
Oh, my word.
See, it's very difficult to tell the real from the fake.
It's comforting to know that there's not an idiot out there with a tattoo of his own face on his face. So that's comforting on one level.
All right, here we go. Here's our second round of stories. First story, marijuana found in man's nose 18 years after he smuggled it into prison.
Surely not.
No.
Okay, second story, inmate becomes millionaire for selling teddy bears and comfort blankets to prisoners. Which one is the true story?
I hope the second one is true. Can I say it like that? I hope the second one is true. So I'm going to go with first one fake, second one true.
And you're agreeing with that? Well, in fact, a man did have marijuana in his nose. According to the news report, the man received the marijuana from his girlfriend, who smuggled it in through a gifted balloon. He then placed the weed in his right nostril to hide it from the guards, but he accidentally shoved it too high and thought he'd then lost it. However, 18 years later, he complained about nasal issues. What on earth?
Obvious.
And the weed was found.
Wow. That's just crazy. So
okay, so
wow, this is harder than I thought.
For both of you on that.
This is much harder than I actually thought,
you couldn't
man.
spot the real from the fake. Okay.
No.
Here's
one more
last
chance.
one. Okay. First story. Millionaire builds extravagant pool filled with premium Colombian coffee. Second story. Woman who drank 40 cups of tea a day buried in a giant box of tea bags.
Ooh, this one's difficult.
Now you've made me.
Which one is fake news? Which one is real news?
I'm going to say the first one is fake, the second one is real.
I'm going to go the opposite.
So you say that
The first one is real.
Second one is
well,
fake.
in fact, a woman was buried in tea bags. 73-year-old Tina Watson from England gave her daughter the unusual instruction before she died by telling her that she didn't want the usual plain wooden coffin or casket. Instead, she said, quote, "I want to be buried in a coffin that looks like a giant box of tea bags." And
obviously had a favorite brand. I wonder if that's like her one last hurrah, where she gets to laugh at life and make people feel happy about her passing.
I'm
That's
still
crazy.
astounded at the fact that she drank 40 cups of of tea a day.
That means we're going to be like in a coffin of Arabica cafe because we
because I love it,
in
man.
the morning.
But I'd honestly fill a whole pool full of coffee and swim around in it.
Did you hear the climax of the fake news music? Ding, 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 ding. So join us next week for another edition of Fake News.
All right, so now that you've been slapped across the face with that fake news, that was tougher than I thought, actually.
It was hectic,
What a crazy world we live in. Let's see if life is imitating art as we get into the news headlines.
Well, on the national news front this morning, hundreds of foreign nationals who've been camping outside the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees office in Waterkloof Road in Brooklyn, Pretoria, have been ordered to disperse. Now, the High Court in Pretoria made the ruling following an urgent interdict by residents in the area. The foreign nationals have been camping outside their offices for over a month now, and they want the agency to find refuge for them outside of South Africa. However, they do not want to go back to their countries of origin. Meanwhile, Eskom said yesterday it was repairing the infrastructure that had been damaged by a severe storm and tornado that wreaked havoc in New Hanover near Pietermaritzburg on Tuesday. Technicians found that 15 networks had been affected, leaving some 15,000 people without power. Now, unfortunately, 2 people were killed and at least 20 of them injured when they tried to escape the severe storm. The Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, Sihle Zikalala, accompanied by Provincial Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs and Finance MECs Sipho Hlomuka and Ravi Pillay, are visiting the area to assess the extent of the damages. On the international front, Zimbabwe's wildlife agency is to move hundreds of elephants and other animals in a dramatic bid to save them from a lethal drought. 600 elephants, 2 prides of lion comprising between 5 and 10 members, a pack of wild dogs, 50 buffalo, 40 giraffe and some 2,000 impalas will be moved from Save Conservancy, a major park in the southeastern Zimbabwe, to 3 other game reserves. The drought has left more than 5 million rural Zimbabweans at risk of food shortages before the next harvest in 2020, the UN has warned. Now, severe flooding in Venice that has left much of the Italian city underwater is a direct result of climate change, says the city's mayor, Luigi Brunaro. Now, he blames the catastrophe on the effects of climate change. The waters in Venice peaked at 1.87 meters, and only once since official records began in 1923 has the tide been higher. St. Mark's Square, situated in the lowest part of the city, was one of the worst hit areas. According to church records, the world-famous landmark, St. Mark's Basilica, was flooded for only the 6th time in 1,200 years. And finally, South African Breweries, along with its judging panel, announced the winners of the annual SAB Environmental Media of the Year Awards at its headquarters in Johannesburg on Tuesday night. And Stroop, Journey into the Rhino Horn War, has bagged yet another prestigious award. The awards recognize South African journalists who have excelled in reporting on and creating awareness of environmental issues across print, electronic and digital media. Stroop has ignited worldwide interest in rhino poaching and has been screened at numerous film festivals as well as on TV channels around the globe. Now, this is the 25th award for the filmmakers Susan Scott and Bonnet de Bod, and an ecstatic de Bod said afterwards it was wonderful to be recognized back home as well. A big congratulations to them as we wrap up this headlines roundup. Right now, let's take a look at the sporting headlines with Graham.
Thanks so much, Kat. Let's elaborate on those major headlines this morning, starting with rugby. Our Rugby World Cup winner and the oldest member of the current Springbok squad, Skalk Brits, has announced his retirement from rugby. That's now for the 2nd time in 2 years. Royals Bok coach Rassie Erasmus, who persuaded the 38-year-old to rejoin the team back in 2018 ahead of their Rugby Championship and World Cup wins. Of course, he has played a vital role within that leadership circle. Brits will end his career with 74 Super Rugby caps and more than 200 appearances for the English club Saracens. And staying with rugby news, the former Springbok coach Heineke Meyer has parted ways with French top 14 club Stade Francais with immediate effect. It was after joining the club just last year as director of rugby and head coach. Meyer initially signed a 2-year contract, but the team's poor performance, which has placed them at the bottom of the standings, is suspected to have led to his departure, understandably. And his last match in charge of Stade was on Sunday, when he suffered a 25-9 defeat to Racing 92 in their Parisian derby. Then on to cricket. Weather has been affecting the MSL. Rain stopped the Mzansi Super League match between the Tshwane Spartans and the Nelson Mandela Bay Giants at Supersport Park in Centurion last night. Spartans had slumped to 33 for 4 in 7.1 overs. This was the second washout for the Spartans after their match against the Durban Heat also succumbed to bad weather. So the Mzansi Super League action will continue today when Cape Town Blitz take on Josie Stars in a repeat of last year's final. That playing out at Newlands from 5:30 today. Then on to the beautiful game. Spain's star forward, David Villa, yesterday announced his retirement from football after 19 years. He is Spain's all-time leading goal scorer with 59 goals for his country. Villa has won 14 major trophies and scored more than 400 goals in total in his very impressive career. The 37-year-old will end his career at his 8th professional club, Vissel Kobe, in the J-League next January. And then finally on to tennis. World number 1 Rafa Nadal saved a match point to beat Russian Daniil Medvedev 6-7, 6-3, 7-6. While second seed Novak Djokovic, he was stunned by Austrian Dominic Thiem 7-6, 3-6, 6-7. That, of course, in the round-robin stages of the ATP finals currently taking place in London. Nadal trailed 5-1 in that third set and saved match point on his serve at 5-2 before a stunning comeback to win the match. The top seed will next face off against Stefanos Tsitsipas. And then today it will be a clash of the titans when Novak Djokovic takes on old foe and probably old friend Roger Federer. And that's a wrap of your sport for this Thursday morning.
Thank you to our 2 sexiest men alive in studio. Let's take a look at the traffic in Gauteng, Johannesburg South. There's been a multi-vehicle accident on the N12 highway between Diepkloof and Ridgeway. Both sides are affected by 2 different crash scenes, so please use an alternative route this morning. In the Western Cape, Bellville on the N1 inbound, there has been an accident before Durban Road obstructing the right lane. Delays can be expected in the area, so please be patient on the road this morning. And on the Metro Rail Cape Flats line, there is an extended travel time of 15 to 20 minutes on the Cape Flats line due to current infrastructure conditions and sets out of service. Make sure that you stay safe on the road. Let's take a final look at the weather.
A 0 fee account with 0 surprises. That's different.
Money.
And this morning, we have asked you to send in your sunrise pictures. Thank you so much to Louise Cherry for your sunrise from Blue Hills in Midrand, and JP Malherbe for your sunrise from Robertson, Casey Volhunter for your incredible sunrise from Belito, and of course, Henry van Veek for your amazing sunrise from Peter Marisburg, as well as Tabo Kamalo for your sunrise from Durban, South Coast, and lastly, Kolinda Kvam for your sunrise from Mkomas in KZN. Let's take a final look at the rest of the country. In Polokwane, we have a low of 17 and a high of 27. Heavy rainfall expected for Mbombela with a low of 16 and 25. Occasional rain for Pretoria with a low of 14, reaching a maximum of 29. Thunderstorms can be expected for you, Johannesburg, with a low of 12 and a high of 28. Mahikeng of 14, 32. High humidity for you, Klerksdorp, with a low of 12 and a high of 30. Kimberley, 12, 29. Bloemfontein, 11, ranging to 28. Richards Bay, 18, reaching a maximum of 22. Strong thunderstorms expected for you, Pietermaritzburg, with a low of 14 and a high of 19. Durban, 19, 23. Occasional rain from Tata with a low of 11 and a high of 19. A couple of showers for East London with a low of 17, peaking at 22. Craddock, 10, 27. Port Elizabeth, 7, 23. George, 15, 20. And the lowest temperature in the country can be found in Sutherland with an all low of 7 and a high of 21. A southeasterly wind of 35 kilometers per hour for Cape Town, the mother city, with a low of 18, reaching a high of 22. Worcester, 12, 25. Springbok, 15, 30. And the highest temperature in the country is for you, Uppington, with a low of 16, peaking at 32. It is a Thursday, a beautiful Thursday that is. Make it count.
Certainly are making it count. Chef Clem back in the studio kitchen again, about to show us how to use this beautiful DeLonghi multi-fry that we've been using for the past week to make some of the most incredible recipes. We made creamy pap.
We did.
The other day we
roast
made
chicken.
Roast chicken with 7 colors, rice.
It's
That was
insane.
amazing. And today we're going to be baking.
It sounds nuts.
It does,
But
completely.
look how beautiful that cake. Everybody's like, how? How did you do that?
What is that? How is that? Why is that? It all happened in there. It's incredible.
It is, definitely.
All right, so quickly take us through the ingredients in case you might want to, you have a DeLonghi multi-fry at home. What ingredients do you need to make this?
Sure, easiest recipe, cake recipe in the world. Eggs, flour, milk, cocoa, vanilla, sugar, and in the background, my butter and sugar's busy being creamed together.
Okay.
Super, super easy. That's
All right.
a cake, yeah.
As simple as that. SMS the keyword cake to 33728. We'll send you a link to the recipe as well as the ingredients list. And when we come back after the break, we'll actually show you how this wonderful machine can do all of those things that we've described and bake as well. Oh, and by the way, don't forget to get a brown chopstick. It's also part of the ingredients list. I don't know why we have this here. Is it important?
Yeah.
A brown chopstick. Important.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, that gorgeous laughter hopefully has set the tone and brought a smile to your face, albeit we are going to enter into quite an emotional conversation right now. Sunday, the 17th of November, is World Prematurity Day. Premature birth is on the rise, and this has obviously many implications. Now, according to the World Health Organization, premature birth is the leading cause of death in children under the age of 5 worldwide. I said emotional. And on today's Baby Talk, we are joined by pediatric dietitian and old friend, Kath McGaw, and a unit manager at a neonatal intensive care unit, so she gets a front row experience of this, Sister Leslie Matthews, for some insight, and I suppose to share empathy, because it's got to be one of the most difficult experiences for any family, any parent. Surely it is the most, as a parent, as someone who's got a little one, it must be
Absolutely.
immense.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, tell me, when is a baby actually considered to be premature?
So we normally say you're premature if you're born before 37 weeks.
Okay.
And weigh less than 2.5 kilograms. And then you get your micro-prems, which are born before 28 weeks, and normally weigh less than 1,000 grams.
I mean, I've heard of instances where you're talking 500, 600 grams, which is, you can scarcely wrap your head around the dimensions. That makes the role of a neonatal intensive care unit absolutely vital. Leslie, I want to ask you, how do you do what you do? How do you work in that space? But I think we have to begin with what the role of a care unit like that is. What do you do?
Well, as a neonatal nurse, my role encompasses taking care of very small, very sick babies, newborn babies, neonatal, premature babies. We take care of the basic needs of these babies, which could be feeding, basics like nappy changes. We do the more intensive care part, which is coordinating medical treatment with the neonatologist. We provide care for the family, mom, dad, and extended family. Provide care.
That must be so selfless because you are literally there with like this little babies, and it's not just the baby, it is of course the family and everyone that is concerned for you know, the little human being. But we spoke about a little bit about statistics, but statistically how many kids are born internationally and worldwide and at home,
locally,
like locally, that is born prematurely?
So in a middle-income country like South Africa and in your African countries, you're looking at about a percentage of 15% of live births are premature.
Sure, so that's quite
in your
sizable
first world
amount, yeah.
countries, it's about half, about 7%. But the sad thing is it's actually on the increase versus the decrease.
Why is that? What are the factors that can lead to premature labor and needing to take that step to actually get to the point of birth, and why is it on the rise, do you think?
Well, obviously, inadequate antenatal care, so people don't have access to good prenatal care. Things like, you know, obesity, smoking, taking drugs, alcohol abuse, so lifestyle.
Quite extreme lifestyle components.
Extreme lifestyle components, but then it's also just, it happens as well, and I think that's a lot of what we deal with in our units, where the parents feel so guilty, and actually it's had nothing to do with them or nothing that they could prevent.
I'm sure you see it all as well, Leslie. What is some of the biggest challenges that you do see in the NICU?
Well, one of the biggest challenges is our ethical dilemmas. The field of neonatology has made big advances, which every day things change, and we often are faced with how far do you go, how long can you continue. So it is quite...
How do you pass that enter that gateway and pass through that? When is it done via a discussion? Is it, how do you actually come, because it must be surely the most difficult question that you could ask yourself. How do you reach consensus, and what actually happens at that final stage?
Well, it's a communication between the doctor, the neonatologist, the parents. Decisions need to be made, and it needs to be based upon facts and expectations. So the doctor, the family, and the neonatal nurse.
I can imagine there must be, it obviously starts off very rough, but there is going to be joy at the end of it, you know, like it's leading to something bigger and better because they're getting stronger every day.
Some of the strongest little children out there.
Absolutely. That's something to remember, that these are little fighters. And I think part of the decision-making process in each step and along the way is that you fight when they fight. You fight with them and you fight alongside them. And they really are some of the strongest little human beings around. And you can see that feisty character when they kind of come through and they go, and I often have the benefit of following a lot of them up. And it's just amazing to see the tenacity, the willpower, the just meeting their milestones that they might have been so behind on, and how they just are achieving these. And it's such a joyous moment and a moment of celebration when a 25-weeker suddenly starts walking and talking and just interacting with the world on such a level. So it really, that is so inspiring, and I think keeps all of us going that work in the field.
And also it can bring a family together. I can speak from direct experience with a couple very close to me whose first born was born very much premature, and it's suddenly all of our baggage, everything else just didn't matter anymore. You get real very quickly. And it brought, in effect, brought us all together again after years of not having been that close. So there is light at the end of the tunnel, but it is such a difficult conversation to broach, and I think there is a huge amount of awareness that needs to be circulated in that space, which is what World Prematurity Day is all about, and we're going to continue this discussion in just a moment. Get into more of those factors that might lead to premature birth, but what you do in that instance, and hopefully offer some empathy to parents, to families who are going through that right now.
Well, a very important conversation being had right now. But let's flip the script a little bit in the kitchen, bringing you all things delicious. Question, what is more heavenly than a slice of moist cake crowned with silky, smooth, delicious chocolate ganache? I'll let you think about that. Not much. Well, today we're showing off with our DeLonghi multi-fry and its versatility. It bakes as well. It has that function to create a mouth-watering marble creation, such as that which Chef Clem has created. Look at that. This cake is actually still warm because it was literally made, wait, what, half an hour ago?
No.
What?
10 minutes ago.
Oh, sorry. 10 minutes ago.
So if anyone ever thought TV was fake,
yeah.
It's not. It's real. It's
real. Wow. Okay, you can SMS cake to 33728. We'll send you a link to the recipe as well as the ingredients list, and you can try out this at home, and hopefully you have your own DeLonghi multi-fry. Okay, so
Ready.
first things first.
So we've got our butter and our sugar, which has been creamed together. I've seen people do have crazy requests about what does it mean to cream something together.
Yeah.
Basically, you're gonna beat the two together until the butter becomes a little lighter in color.
Yes.
And it looks like a little fluffier.
Yes.
In texture. Okay. So don't be adding cream to things.
Please. Oh.
No.
Cream in your butter.
You know what
Okay,
actually happened to me once on Afternoon Express?
You tell?
Someone wrote in and said, you said to mix the cake batter by hand, but on TV you used a spatula. So at home, did you go like...
Hold on. Hey, listen, we're not professional chefs, okay? So sometimes
I'm sorry.
we might be making mistakes like that. I might have done that, mix it by hand, because, you know, also the whole thing with butter being, or your ingredients being at room temperature when you're baking,
very important.
Exactly.
There we go. Okay, cool. So, also a very important point there. Everything's at room temperature. They're all the same temperature. Eggs going in. Can we do this at the same time? Can I give this to you?
Yes, okay.
So you kind of like just whip it in there. I'm going to add eggs one at a time.
You're going to add them one at a time?
Like that.
Oh, hello!
By hand.
By hand.
Like I did. No, it's
so
fine.
I got to be easy on this.
Right,
Got to be easy on this. See, if you're lucky enough to have an assistant at home, this might go a little bit smoother.
You want to try the whisk?
Yes, I think let's rather go with that.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
there we go. That's going to get mixed together. I like it.
See, now we're working.
Can I give you another tip about this?
Do tell.
So you've got like different muscles in your forearm, right?
Yes.
So if your arm starts getting, you're actually doing the best thing. I like that way.
Yeah.
And then when your arm gets tight, there we go. So you're able to like mix without getting...
And then the arm gets tight and you just switch.
There we go. Dig it. All right.
And plus you're getting it both ways. Okay, cool. So now it looks nice and mixed. Let me just wipe my hands quickly.
A little bit of milk going in. Just like that.
Alrighty.
And then flour. So flour, again, I'm going to start adding it to the mixture as you keep on going. You can obviously do this by machine, but by hand, this is such a simple recipe that, I mean, it's quick. Get a friend, meet your neighbors. Also, you can help you make a cake.
Hey, Danny, we're making a cake. I've got the DeLonghi multi-fry and I just got it now. You want to come see what it does? It's amazing.
There we go. It is amazing. So whether you're cooking on the ideal fry or the multi-fry, because of the element at the bottom of the machine and at the top, you properly get in that even baking, which is why you're able to make beautiful cakes like this in the DeLonghi fry. And also, this is not my recipe. I cannot say it's my recipe. I've taken it off the DeLonghi app, which is absolutely amazing.
Okay.
Did you know about that?
No, I didn't.
You literally go download the app to your phone, whether it's on the Play Store or on the App Store, and select your machine that you've got, and you can just go scroll all those recipes. Everything's done for you. Remember the whole thing about set it and forget it?
Yeah.
That's where all the instructions are there. So you literally put everything in there, set the time, walk away.
Wonderful stuff.
That's easy. Okay, cool. You know what? I'm not even paying attention right now.
No, because I'm doing the most here. My arm is just getting its workout ready for curacao.
Wow. Okay. Vanilla going in there.
Oh, lovely. Oh my gosh, when that vanilla scent hits your nose.
It is, eh?
It is the stuff of dreams.
Okay, cool. Now we're gonna show you how to get this like swirl effect.
Okay.
Right. So I'm gonna divide the batter. Oh, you can divide the batter in half for me.
Okay.
And you don't have to be like super precise and weigh out the batters. You're gonna kind of like just eyeball it.
Okay. So half of the batter.
Half of the batter.
Cool. There we go. That's about half.
Cool. There we go. I'm gonna add a little bit of cocoa.
So I can mix that in, yeah?
There we go.
Okay, mix the cocoa. Or the cacao, depending on how much you want to
it's gonna add that color to it and that chocolate flavor.
So let's get
just
it
like
to the
that.
center there. All right. Oh, that's amazing.
There we go.
Chocolatey, vanilla-y combination.
Nice.
Beautiful stuff. SMS the keyword cake. Oopsie to 3372. You know what? A kitchen that's not messy when you're baking is not a real baker's kitchen anyway.
Not at all. So, have I got see me doing things? I'm a lefty and I'm working backwards. There we go. Okay, cool. So,
I only realized that now for the first time that you're left-handed.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Okay.
We've greased the inside of our DeLonghi
Multi-fry.
What is a technical? There we go. I'm trying to think of the fancy with the basket.
Oh, okay. Yes.
So now what we're going to do is, I'm going to do the same time as you.
Okay.
I'm
What are we
gonna
doing?
pour, you're going to pour.
Oh, together?
Yeah. If it doesn't like end up looking extremely beautiful, and I'll hold it a little forward so our viewers can see what we've done in a second.
This is okay. Adding.
We are becoming one. Look at that.
Clem, oh my goodness.
Okay.
Baking is a many splendid thing.
I'm saving some of that cake batter because some people really, really love raw cake batter.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, let's do this. So now, you've got your vanilla flavor and your chocolate flavor. Here's where your chopstick comes in. You can use a fork. It's not very technical, whatever you got.
Okay.
And you start swirling.
Oh, okay, let's just lift it a little bit so we can see. This is what the swirl is. Not the swirl, but the swirl.
What do you know about the swirl?
Ooh, the swirl has given many people great hairstyles, I understand.
It has.
Yeah.
But this is the other swirl. It's going to give you like a great, appetite. Okay, cool. So that's so simple. Once you've done your extreme swirl.
While you're showing that off, let me tell you quickly at home that with this wonderful machine, from quick and easy meals, veggies, you can cook fish, chicken, even baking as we're showing you right now, and so much more. The DeLonghi Recipe Book app that you were talking about is available and has all the recipes and tips that you need for you to use your DeLonghi multi-fry or ideal fry in the best possible way. And you can even select recipes that are 150 calories vegetarian. There are vegan, gluten-free recipes, frozen, and you can even choose them by nationality. So depending on your taste buds or your preferred taste on the day, hey, you can find inspiration. Okay, cool.
Absolutely. So we're going to bake. So you can go between, again, when it's a little slower, you want that more gradual heat between 1 and 2. This guy can go into, I give it half an hour.
Yeah.
And then you just hit that magic button. We're cooking with both, top and bottom.
Yes.
Hit the magic button, and it's going to start baking.
As simple as that.
That simple. So obviously when it's done, you take the basket out again, turn out your cake like we have over here. Kat, look at you. Look at you.
A clean kitchen is important.
My mom's watching, and she did say, like, Clem, most important thing is to clean as you go.
Otherwise,
so
then
she was
you
very,
lift
very
a
happy.
huge mission afterwards.
There we go. So you want to help me
bring
to decorate
along?
this?
Oh, this looks amazing. I can't believe the cake is still warm. That's incredible.
So normally you have to wait for your cake to cool before you do any icing.
Yes.
We're doing a ganache, which is just cream and chocolate melted together. It's already melted. So from a height, with some dramatic effect, we want to drizzle, hit that center.
Wow. Am I going to do that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Here we go.
I'm standing back.
Please put, like, slow-mo this if you want to. Just,
with some, like, I was going to do some ganache music.
Just let it go. Let it go.
There we go.
Just let it do its thing.
There we
let
go.
it go. It's a mountain fountain of chocolate ganacheableness. Look at that as it just smoothly glides around the corners, creating beautiful memories.
There we go. Well done.
Deal. That's amazing.
And then a bit of whipped cream.
Oh, wait, before you do that, look at the gloss finish that you get on this.
It's amazing. Can you see yourself in the reflection?
Is that how the pros do it? I literally can't see myself in the reflection. That's incredible.
Okay, and the viewers are probably seeing a little bit of spoil on the end of it, but you know what? It's all part of baking. Okay, so like I'm gonna like simply destroy your beautiful glossiness over here.
No, go ahead. Oh my goodness.
And you just kind of like again continue the swirl.
Ooh,
maybe
get this side here. It's like little drops of amazing. What is this life even? And then you swirl it some more if you want.
Swirl some more. There we go. Swirling. Been saving.
You've just taught me something new today.
Forever. There we go. Okay, Kat, this is all you, man. Have you noticed? Like I stood back and this was you, the cat cake.
You actually did allow me to do this, and I really I'm amazed. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Listen, we've got great news for you at home because DeLonghi has partnered with Yuppie Chef, and if you want 20% off of the FH2133 or the FH1373 models, then jump onto yuppiechef.com and use the voucher code DeLonghi20. Now, do be in a rush to do that because there are only 40 items available at this amazing discounted rate, and the offer is valid until the 28th of November 2019. And man alive, look at this.
Our cup overfloweth.
Indeed.
We are so blessed.
Oh. Anybody for some cake? Yes, Jacqueline? Oh, come on in here. I mean, when you have Mrs. South Africa here...
Can you hear Graham? Can you hear Graham in the background?
Never asked.
Wow, are you ready? I'm going to try
It's fantastic.
as best as I can.
It just smells phenomenal. And it's
chocolate
so
for breakfast.
Why
It's
not?
yeah, absolutely.
Once. The cat cake. You did such a great job.
Thank you. Okay, here we go. It's just, oh my word.
So precise. Still warm cake.
Allow it to just live. its best life. Hello.
But it
Okay, this is where I need the fork a little bit,
It
just to kind of
does.
slide it off. And
Look at that. Oh, look at that marble.
Incredible.
Beautiful on the inside.
Here you go, Jacqueline. Have a taste.
I'm
Freshly baked.
Going to.
There we go.
And the verdict.
Yes?
We have done well.
Yes?
Boys, this is fantastic.
Our work here is done. Up top.
I'm out.
I'm gonna have a taste as well.
It's really, really.
Thank you. Thank you.
So
Win a trip to London from the 12th to the 20th of November with Travel Start, Virgin Atlantic, and in the company of our local explorers, Danilo Acquisto and Aquila Haron. Catch this travel fab duo on Expresso with their guide to the time of your life in London town. Vote for your favorite itinerary on the Travel Start website and put yourself in the draw for those 2 return tickets on Virgin Atlantic.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it. It is, of course, your feel-good breakfast show, and we are continuing our chat about, baby talk. And joining us now and discussing what the biggest medical challenges facing premature infants are, and the upcoming Prematurity Day fun walk is Professor Johan Smith, Dr. Gugu Kali, and Jason Falcon of the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning.
Taking time out of your busy day to be with us in studio and speaking about such a sensitive topic, but also just raising awareness about this topic.
I think, first of all, I have a huge amount of respect and for what you do, trying to wrap my head around working in the space that you do. So I hope this feels more relaxed to this environment, but I know you all do work very closely together. Prof, I'm going to start with you. You seem like a really fun guy. You haven't stopped smiling since you walked in here. For somebody who works in a space that I think for the uninitiated would seem like a heartbreaking place to be working in. But there is a huge amount of joy because there are success stories, and it comes at great cost. It comes at a great challenge. What are the biggest challenges for premature babies? And we have to add to that their parents, because it is a dual battle that you're fighting.
Yeah, we're looking at premature births born before 37 weeks when a pregnancy, every mother expects to be going to term. And then that expectation is broken off by a sort of interruption of the pregnancy. And we are confronted as doctors with a small, very small, and sometimes very fragile baby.
Minute.
Yes, whose parents might be anxious, might fear what is going to happen. So you have to deal with the family, the little one, as well as yourself in managing those little infants. And yeah, you said I was smiling. We do have fun because we work with kids and we love kids. But yeah, they come with risks, and the risks are the immediate risks in terms of lung problems, brain problems, developmental problems, and so forth. And then immediately the survival issues. And then we have to also deal with the family and their anxiety as well.
I mean, I had anxiety with a normal birth where we had to make a couple of changes as to natural birth or C-section. That was enough to throw us into a tailspin, so I can only imagine.
Yeah, and I want to pose actually a question to you, Dr. Kelly. What does a typical day in the NICU look like? I mean, running around, just take us through a typical day.
Well, it can be quite chaotic and very noisy, and for parents, I think quite intimidating because there's lots of machines, lots of beeping noises. So we try and make it and involve the parents and try and explain to them what is going on with their babies, what all the machines are doing, what all the alarms are about, because it can be quite scary.
I actually want to ask this. You're saying a lot about machines. Do they do skin-on-skin as well in the NICU?
Yes. When the babies are stable enough, we encourage the patients to do intermittent skin-to-skin care.
And I would imagine that's therapeutic for baby and for
the
parents as just wanting normalcy. Jason, we're going to get on to I think a beautiful day of empathizing and just breathing out, which the walk is all about. But I keep thinking about the long-term consequences, because we know that a prematurely born baby can grow into a very strong, can meet all those milestones. But what can some of the long-term consequences of being born premature be? I don't know who wants to weigh in.
Yeah, go.
So they can have a number of problems. They can have problems with the vision, they can have hearing problems, they can have learning disabilities, they can have cerebral palsy, and as adults they can also have some of the chronic diseases.
And does it become your battle in that initial stage? Are you looking at those consequences going, okay, we need to do this to prevent this? Are you able to play a hand in preventing those long-term consequences at those critical junctures?
Yeah, we always exercise caution and adhere to very strict protocols to minimize any injury that might be incurred. Sort of bring it into balance with the fragility of the infant you're dealing with,
I mean, guys, imagine 500 grams, that's a little cube of butter. That's just mind-blowing. Jason, what's the fun walk all about? Why should people come out and support?
Yeah, so it's important for us as a trust to celebrate Tygerberg Hospital and the doctors, the nurses, and the good work they do there. So the event on Saturday, the World Prematurity Fun Day, is an opportunity for us to do just that, invite the community to come and join us, and just to celebrate the good work that's been done at Tygerberg. So essentially we will have a 5-kilometer fun walk on the hospital grounds, ending in a bit of a community fair where there's a live stage, live music, lots of local artists performing. We've got the Minister of Health as an ambassador, Dr. Norma French will be there, as well as great lineup of artists like Vicky Sampson, for example. We'll have prizes throughout the day. So yeah, fun day for all.
I love it. Thank you so much for doing it. And thank you for doing the work that you do every day on behalf of every parent that is connected with you guys. Thank you so, so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I think I'm still trying to wrap my head around how it is to work in that space. So I have a huge amount of respect for what it is that you do. But we've also put it to our viewers to weigh in as well. And we've had a couple of people really weigh in with I think wanting to support parents through this space. And maybe I can relate to this one. Here we go. Tasneen Francis Pillar saying, my baby was born at 32 weeks. She was born the Saturday morning via emergency C-section. She spent 1 month in hospital. That's a long time due to low birth weight and respiratory distress. She weighed 1.5 kilograms at birth. Today, she is 15 months, corrected, and is catching up to her cousins.
That's the stories we want to hear, you know, the success stories. We speak about the bad side to it, but we also just want to speak about the good things, and that she is catching up and now going to live a good life, hopefully a long life with that.
Well, hopefully you have many more success stories like that. Go and enjoy your day. Keep smiling, Prof. And enjoy the fun walk as well. Hopefully a lot of people will come out there to celebrate the good work that you guys do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, this is live TV. It happens. So you done there, Chadman?
Yeah.
You done? Thanks a lot. Much appreciated. Listen, it's Thursday, and that means today is our hashtag Barefoot with Crush Challenge Day, and we've tagged our crew and asked them to take part in the challenge all around our studio. As you can see, Chadman not only managing my microphone pack, but also ensuring that he is part of the movement. Now, if you're out of the loop a little bit, let me fill you in. Clover Crush has once again launched their hashtag Crush Goodness project for the 3rd year now, which aims to donate 20,000 pairs of school shoes to underprivileged kids across the country. Now, I'm sure that you want to be part of this, so we're calling on all of our viewers out there at home to go hashtag Barefoot with Crush today and share your posts with us on our social media platform. And if you can't go to work without shoes, okay, that's fine too, but you can help to hashtag share the goodness by simply buying your favorite flavor of Clover Crush and then following the instructions on the back of the pack. It's as easy as that. And remember that every little bit helps, and you can help to make some little one's dream come true out there by being part of this phenomenal movement.
Clover Crush, 100% pure fruit juice packed with vitamins and no added sugar. Crush your daily goodness. Now also available in long life.
Support Crush in giving away another 20,000 pairs of school shoes to children in need. Buy a Crush, dial the number on the pack, and stand the chance to win your share of 500,000 Rand. Hashtag share the goodness. Made with love by Clover.
I love the fact that our crew are really up for anything. We love you guys, but thank you so much. I mean, we really do share the experience of this show together, and we take a lot of time and put a lot of effort into really taking on board what it is we are doing here when we are promoting a cause like this. And just the thought, and I'd love to chat to some of our crew, and I'm sure I will at the end of this, of a school child not being able to adequately dress themselves to go to school. Never mind just the physical effect, the pain of having to walk to school without having school shoes. But there is pride attached to the way that you look. And with the work that I've done with children in impoverished communities, that is a massive thing. It is such a big thing that a child gets to feel the pride of being able to wear a school uniform, of having a brand new pair of shoes, having a pair of shoes to be able to go to work. So I love this campaign. I love the fact that we're getting people to actually stop for a second and think, okay,
And like that everyone's getting involved in making sure that they can
I do still have my shoes on.
take it off.
No, we'll get there.
We'll get there. The crew's doing it, and so we all are just standing in power and just making sure that they can step into their shoes and understand what they go through every single day.
Don't stand on his toes, man.
Aww.
Chadman, you've got beautiful feet, buddy. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to put it out there. You've got beautiful, beautiful feet. So it'll be worth it. Next time you step outside, off your beautiful plush carpets and onto a stone or a little bit of gravel, I want you to kind of take on board that there are hundreds, if not thousands, of South African school children, young children, that are having to deal with that every single day. But there, moreover, are so many children that stand to benefit from a brand new pair of school shoes, courtesy of Crush. So hopefully you can also help to share the goodness. Look at those beautiful feet, man. Look at those beautiful feet.
Science reaches for the truth. It works for the big and small, for the old and young. And with knowledge as our first ingredient, science is at the heart of our food. For differences you can see, feel, and trust. It all starts with science.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast show. It is a Thursday, 14th of November. We are trotting on along to the end of the year. We're almost halfway through. Tomorrow we're halfway through the month.
Wow.
Crazy.
Dude.
Crazy stuff.
Year's end is almost upon us, and perhaps you're lucky enough to be looking forward to a little bit of a beach holiday.
Yeah.
We've been asking you guys, what 5 things would you take to the beach? We've now established that conditioner is a vital one, according to Jamie. I was thinking, like, for me, I struggle to sit still for a long time on the beach. That's like and I hate having sand everywhere. So that's for me. You've got to have water, so you're not like up and down. You know, you can stay hydrated. But sunscreen, surely, hey?
Yeah, a ball maybe a rugby ball to toss around. But here's what
Yes.
Nabila Friedrichs said: a book, sunglasses, sunscreen, iPod and earphones. Is it, wait, iPhone and earphones, that's 5 already.
Yeah.
Sorry, you have to sacrifice the water. No drinking water for you.
All the book,
only
all
5.
the
No,
sunglasses.
but it was last on the list.
And then Chantal Foucher saying, good morning, team. Good morning to you. The 5 essentials in my bag: sunscreen for my kids and myself. 100%. It's got to be factor 50 or more for your kids. Okay.
Wait, how many kids do you have, though? Because if it's 2 kids, that's 3 sunscreens. Go.
Shades, sun hats.
That's it. You can't go more than that.
No,
That's
come on,
already.
man. You're being draconian about your things. Flip flops and lip balm. I suppose you could use the sunscreen as a lip balm.
There we go.
Well.
Yolanda Siegel says, "Morning, gorgeous guys and girls."
Oh,
hello.
thank you. Thanks
My
for
5
that.
essential beach items will be frozen water, cool drink. That's 2. Okay. Sunscreen, towels, wipes. Hair conditioner. That falls out. That falls out the bag because the bag is too small. It can't.
Hair
can't take-
conditioner.
Yeah.
Is this a thing?
That's how you get the edges flat. Apparently. Have you ever had your edges laid?
No, and I'm being educated this morning, and I appreciate it. I realize that I'm now able to relate. Then this one coming, looking at the comments, I've realized that I'm the only one who loves food.
Yeah.
Clearly, that's what I said. I mentioned earlier, snacks, but you'll find sunscreen, wipes, that's a clever one. So you can wipe the sand and the thing, lip balm, food, and food. Lots of food.
You see, that's perfect.
Yeah.
This will be sunscreen, wipes, lip balm, food.
And food. What about water?
There's a lot of water.
There's water everywhere. Not a drop to drink. Cool. I think we're all on kind of the same tip with the addition of conditioner. That's opened my eyes this morning.
You
Thank
still haven't added your 5 cents to who's the sexiest man alive, though.
Isn't it always Chris Hemsworth? I thought it's Thor. I thought that he was always perpetually till we all die.
That's what
he
Jamie
is going
Lee
to be the guy.
That's
is he
what
not?
Jamie Lee
Because he's tall and he's Australian and he's Thor.
Is that true, Jamie Lee?
I'm really teaching you guys so much today. Firstly, it's always Thor. It's always Chris Hemsworth. Yes, absolutely. And then also, it is always conditioner. Conditioner is for the hair. Make sure the hair bleak, you know. But it is Passion Thursdays. And earlier today, we introduced some fabulous and sizzling hot swimwear trends for the summer ahead. Now, some of us ladies prefer to add a cover-up into the swim chic mix for that extra boost of confidence. From cool kaftans to sassy sarongs, smoking hot sunnies and hot hats. My favorite stylist, Bronwyn Day, is here to show us how to shop your ultimate poolside glam look, no matter what your shape or size. Bronwyn, I love you because you are not only just giving us the trends for those, those swimwear, but now cover-ups. Tell me a bit more about the trends that we'll be seeing for this summer. That's got to do more with the cover-ups.
Cover-ups, yeah. So cover-ups are big. They're as important as the swimwear is. And especially if you've got those little weak points in your body, you don't want to show them all off. So you might prefer to go for a sarong that covers up a tummy area. You might want to go for shorts. So there are lots of accessories, basically. It's not just about swimwear. It can be a kaftan, it can be a shirt and a short, it could be a dress worn over your swimsuit, sandals, hats, sunglasses, jewelry. Pile it on and make it bling. Make summertime your magical time. Not just about swimming costumes and just getting in the pool. It's also about how you look outside the pool, going for cocktails. So it's the whole look.
Yes, absolutely. And, everything's all about Instagram now. So once you, rocking that bather, it's all about the Instagram. But we spoke earlier about the swimwear, which was very bold and printy. So would you then say the balance would be a bold swimwear and then a more subtle cover-up?
Yeah, so you can do that. So it depends on your skin tone. Like we were saying earlier, how beautiful beautiful. The white with the sort of luminous embroidered detail is so beautiful with the tassels. You can wear something neutral with a bold leopard print, for example, or you could go with a classic swimsuit and add sort of a pop of print with your kaftan. So you really can mix and match, or if you really like to be bold, you can pile it all on together.
Oh, probably not, because I mean it's going to be very hot. But now, just how do we find the best one for your shape? Because I mean, you don't want to look like a tree there, like
absolutely,
you know,
absolutely. So there are lots of drawstring details which I'm loving. So they sort of gather around the waist, nipping at the waist. If you have great legs and you just have an issue with maybe your top upper arms, you might want to wear a light, cool shirt just to give you that summery feel, and also to avoid, you know, sometimes at the end of the day your shoulders get hot or tanned, so you might just want to cover up a little bit or go from the beach to having a sundowner. So these are really beautiful options. Or you might want to wear a shirt dress just buttoned open. One of my other favorites is just a good old man shirt, unbuttoned, thrown over the cozy.
Like first you need a man though for the man shirt. But we do have a model in
No, girl,
no,
we're just going to the H&M or the Woolies or anywhere, and you go upstairs, you grab your big shirt,
okay,
you're
we
done.
can do that.
Done.
Now we're also going to get the model in just to show us a bit more of the look that we want to, you know, display today.
Absolutely.
So our beautiful model is in studio.
So Laura is wearing this beautiful pop of colour. I love these pink stripes. I love the little tassels at the bottom. It's got like a hippie boho feel. I've added some bright accessories, a big bold hat. The espadrille shoe is really, really key as well. And these from Woolies, I just absolutely love all their accessories and cover-ups, just because there's just so many options depending on your shape, depending on your skin tone, and obviously depending on your problem areas or areas that you like to cover up when you're on the beach or around the pool.
Absolutely. You know what I love the most about all this is that it's still sexy. You can still be conservative, but you can still be showing a little bit of leg or whatever your problem areas are. You can still be showing just that, you know what I mean? So it's beautiful, and the pop of colors, like you were saying, the accessories plays a huge role. I think out of everything, it is all about the accessories.
And the whole look together, yes, Jamie. And it's just about making sure your style voice comes through. So if you like a bit of bling, then you might want to wear it on your sandals with your peachy drawstring kaftan dress. You might decide to go for a bold beaded necklace later afternoon with your swimsuit and throw over a dress, you know. So you must be able to mix and match your swimwear with your kaftans, your sandals, and all your accessories.
Well, thank you so much. My favorite person in the entire universe. You know, I love you.
Thanks,
but these are just a few of the many gorgeous choices you have for confident and glamorous beach or poolside look, ladies. So be sure to shop yours in store, online, or on the Woolies app. And remember, the sexiest thing to wear is confidence.
Yeah, sexy summer sorted. Now, this morning we're also in the privileged company of having Mrs. South Africa, Jacqueline Ferns, here with us. I hope that you still have been enjoying our company.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, coffee, cake.
Yes.
Good food, good people. What's there not to enjoy?
Have you actually placed your coffee order this morning with this princess?
Please, can I have a cappuccino?
Okay. Coming up, straight up. But Sis Princess, I know that you also have, while you're making that, have a burning question. It's not every day you get to hang out with Mrs. South Africa. Do you want to ask her a question?
Yes, my question is, the time you were in this competition, what was your guilty pleasure?
My guilty pleasure?
Yes.
Ooh, that's a good one. What was your guilty pleasure?
My guilty pleasure is sushi.
Oh, yes?
Okay.
It is. No, it most definitely is.
What's your favorite? Because it's like this kind of roll and wrap and nigiri this.
You've got this deep fried sushi. I don't know if you get it everywhere, but in Polokwane we have this deep fried sushi.
Yes.
Okay. It's like a deep fried California roll.
Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness, it's like KFC
on the outside.
Sushi. It's just fantastic. So.
All right, you're gonna get our coffee order going, and we're gonna say a very short goodbye and hello on the other side of a short break. We'll be right back on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Only the highest grade Arabica beans. McAfee, great coffee, simple. See you after the break.
Support Crush in giving away another 20,000 pairs of school shoes to children in need. Buy a Crush, dial the number on the pack, and stand the chance to win your share of 500,000 Rand. Hashtag share the goodness. Made with love by Clover.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Indulge with Bliss Double Cream Yogurt, made with love by Clover.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso on SABC3. Certainly a whole lot of love in the studio, and we bring it forth to you. It's so good to be in your company. Thanks for joining us. Jacqueline Ferns, Mrs. South Africa, is also in the studio, and we're treating her to all kinds of deliciousness. Earlier on, we made a delicious cake that you enjoyed.
Cake.
And this one in particular, for those that love ice cream but don't necessarily always want to have so much sugar or the compact and fine sugars, we're going to make a beautiful dessert like that. That you can serve up on any kind of hot day using our Clover Bliss Double Cream Yogurt. And I don't know if you've ever used it before, but it's absolutely brilliant.
It's delicious.
We're going to use a half a cup of the plain. So that's about a half a cup. Let me just make sure. I'm very particular when it comes to measurements. Follow the recipe to the T. Sorry, you can't let that go to waste. Oh, hello. And then you're going to pop that into a little pot like this.
So you heat it up.
Allow it to heat up a little bit. And then you're going to add to it some melted chocolate. And this is the beauty that's going to give you that ice cream-like flavor. Now, in the meantime, while I do that and get it all stirred up, Jacqueline, I'm going to need you to take these skewers here next to me. And you're going to create beautiful fruit sausages.
Love that.
Let's see how creative you get with that in the combination.
Very colourful.
What combination are you going with?
Well, I absolutely adore pineapples and strawberries. It's like my most favourite thing.
Oh, yes?
So we'll definitely put those ones in. And then a little bit banana.
Alrighty.
It's always a good option.
And of course, as I said, the hero ingredient that we're using for this particular recipe right now, create these treats, is the Clover Bliss Double Cream plain yogurt, but there's a variant of flavors that you can get as well. As you saw there, there's strawberry, beautiful other flavors there, and it's a great source of vitamins as well. And chocolate chip flavor as well. So depending on what you like.
We always use the choc chip.
Yeah, so you're just going to make sure that this is nicely mixed. How are we doing with the
It's looking absolutely gorgeous.
So you're going to keep this on a medium, very low heat rather, and then you want to make sure that the chocolate, the melted chocolate, and the yogurt are fully combined and mixed together. Okay, so I'm going to push this here closer to me while you do that. And then, once you've got that nicely heated, you are going to take this lovely mixture. I wonder if I should do it with a teaspoon or not. Let me try that.
Try it.
There we go. And then just allow it to...
Wow, it looks gorgeous.
I think I might actually need a spoon. A bigger surface area. Yeah, that's going to work. Okay, so then you just go crazy lavishly.
Wow.
And once you're done with these, you're going to freeze them overnight. Yeah?
Yeah, you freeze them overnight, and then you have a lovely
the result there.
Snack.
Okay, you got to get going with this, ma'am.
Yes.
There we go. That smells amazing as well.
It does.
So SMS the keyword Clover to 33728. We'll send you a list of what you need to make these wonderful fruit skewers.
So colourful as well for summer. It looks
wonderful
amazing.
Treat. Okay, let's quickly show you how we made this while we finish these off.
Indulge with Bliss Double Cream Yogurt, made with love by Clover. Summertime snacks don't have to be loaded with sugar to be delicious. Make these Clover Bliss frozen fruit skewers the night before your kids' next playdate. Thread your favorite seasonal fruit onto a bamboo skewer and repeat a few times until you have enough to feed the troops. In a saucepan, combine half a cup of Clover Bliss Double Cream Plain with half a cup of melted white chocolate and mix well to combine. Before drizzling the chocolatey bliss over the fruit skewers, put into freezer-safe dish and freeze overnight. With an abundance of beautiful ripe fruit this summer, you can give your kids a treat that's not only healthy, but totally delicious too.
Made with love by Clover.
So do SMS Clover to 33728 and we'll send you a link to the recipe as well as a list of the ingredients so we can make this at home. And as I said, we were using the plain flavor in this one, but there's strawberries and cream, there's a new choc chip, there's a new lemon meringue flavor, there's black forest.
Yeah,
yes,
the black forest.
Absolutely, absolutely. So do try it out at home, and we're about to try it out right now, but not without Jamie Lee and Graham joining us as well, because I know that they are very, very keen to have a taste.
Wow, guys.
It looks so good.
Yeah. So we've made some over here.
Did you?
I'll pass one to you there.
Are these frozen?
Jamie Lee, there you go.
It's frozen.
Frozen.
Why are you making
Like
it
Anna.
freezer?
That
Did you
is
help?
so-
Did you
Yeah,
make
they're-
as well?
just let it go,
Yes, I did all the hard work.
There we go. Now we get to taste.
What fruit have you put into our little skewers?
So you got some pineapple, some strawberries there, banana,
sweet melon
Look
or
how
kiwi?
cute. Look how cute she is. She's doing it like this. You just get in there.
Careful, please do not spike your hand.
No.
And then next thing I think just go for it.
Just go for it,
right in there.
You think like ice cream?
Totally.
It's delicious.
Go for it.
It's refreshing. Eh? That is the most beauty queen-esque.
How cute. It's like
Nibble.
Petite bite.
Oh,
that?
Oh, wow, it really is delicious. Wow.
You guys are here to play. Now go.
Just get in there. Don't stab yourself.
brain freeze.
So good.
Brain freeze.
That is really, really nice.
Yeah, I feel there's a brain freeze coming on.
And I'm constantly looking for ways with my little one to get him to like eat more fruits and eat healthy
Well, this
things.
is
And this is really,
the way
really
to
good.
go.
The fact that
Most
it's frozen,
definitely.
it's fresh, it's gorgeous, man. Eh?
It's hitting me here.
I told you, bro.
Because I've been with my
Yeah, you're a fool. You're a fool who went in. You went
Very brave.
and then you go.
I can't stop.
You're just eating. You're like eating it like corn on the cob. You're just going like it looks like a cartoon, you know, in a comic book. Like.
Also, how's that combination of the yogurt, the plain yogurt with white chocolate?
That is absolutely delicious. This is like a dessert. It's awesome. Oh, man.
It's just everything. And imagine your kids, how they're going to love this.
They're going to love this. Yeah, just watch the skewers. Your child might be like Kat and just go like right in there and get a little brain freeze.
Okay, safety first, guys. Always safety first. Jacqueline, thank you very much for joining us
thank
today.
you for having
Wonderful.
me
Thank
and
you
for
so
all the
much.
breakfast.
All the best. Check it out. Tomorrow, Belinda Davids will be performing on our Feel Good Week show. Brand new tribute show here in Cape Town. Look at that, the greatest love of all. But we love you so much for joining us. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow. Make someone smile out there.
We love
guys.
you. Never forget it.
Expresso Morning Show, made with love by Clover.
Another Feel Good production.